Welcome everyone. Oh, you won't believe this. Just as I logged on to vPilot, I was parked there. I was blocked by that aircraft. Then I moved here. Now blocked by this aircraft. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Let's try this. Right. Now get out of the way. Leave me alone. Welcome everyone. Cannon plug, hello. Gifts back, hello. Oh, but that's wrong as well. Hang on. Let me just find a parking spot here. X-ray 1. It's the wrong way around, isn't it? Good lord. What's this one? Yeah, it's live weather, unfortunately. Now let me just see where I can park this. Hang on. Now this is Paris X-ray terminal. Yankee 7. Shall we try Yankee 7? Right. Lilo, hello. Hayden, hello. Luke, hello. Goatfriend, hello. Yeah, that's the standard scenery. However, I did download a kind of a fix, which does fix some stuff regarding taxiway signs and so on, and elevation issues. So let me try to get this working. No. Well, hang on. That aircraft is gone now, isn't it? So let's go Yankee 5. Right, Yankee 5 it is. Reposition aircraft. Yankee 5. Empty Cross, hello. Al, hello. So the thing is this. It's Paris. So Paris rarely, and I mean rarely, has ATC, right? So I'm actually quite chuffed that we are receiving live ATC on VATSIM. So we might as well celebrate that. And yeah, we're flying from here to Vagar. The reason being is that on my last real world flight, we actually flew right overhead Vagar. And strangely enough, we had a beautiful, beautiful sight of the Faroe Islands. And I've not seen this for, I don't know how many, I don't think I've ever seen it this clear. And Kipman, look, you're Quebec 3, Kipman. Okay, I'll have a check in a second. Nice that you joined, Kipman. And Andreas Moin, Puri, hello. And Tony, Tony asked, hi, off topic, can you tell me what to do about Discord, please? I've joined Discord but can't access most of the channels. Yeah, so Tony, did you say write hello in the welcome channel? So we have a welcome channel. Just say hello in there, and then he should be admitted. Sorry that it's a bit of an issue. Giftswork, how are you doing? Nice to see you. And we've had Odok. Odok is about to land in State College right now. Have a good landing. Right. So Faroe Islands, rare that you see it in this manner, and so look at this. So you can actually, we can actually make out. Yeah, Andreas, I'll get to that in a second. And Christian London, hello. Yeah, so it's rare to see Vagar so clearly. And look at that. I mean, absolutely amazing, right? How long until I retire? 1.5 years. And Philip Arbio, welcome. Yeah, so very rare sight to have it this clear, and this is where we're going today. Now further on, we actually had also a beautiful view of the east coast of Iceland. You can see the glaciers, and it's quite fascinating to see the east side under ice. I mean, that's why they call it Iceland. But yeah, we had some amazing views. Absolutely blessed.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box
Really
Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary
right, why did I hear the alert again?
flight
Hang on.
entertainment will be served.
Voyager, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Hold on, let me just go to settings.
You won't
here
retire
quickly.
because we won't allow it, Kappa.
Audio, and we'll have headphones Elgato. Right, let me just try that again. See if that works. Voyager. There it is.
Welcome aboard
Now I can
the
hear
Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way
Tony,
to
yeah,
the first
let me
class
see
cabin, where
if I
complimentary
can
drinks,
catch you there
snacks,
on
and premium
Discord.
flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
No, yeah. So once
You
you
won't
have...
retire because we won't allow it, Kappa.
Oh, really, Voyager? Oh, come on. Oh, well, good thing you said Kappa. Thank you very much, Voyager. That's 40 months. Well, I know it's longer than that, but yeah, 40 months it says here on the counter. Hey, Moritz, it's just standard Microsoft scenery with an enhancement from flightsim.to. And it's just a little enhancement to have some of the taxiways correctly displayed. That's all it is. So we've got a question from Andreas. He asked, can you explain when you land with flight directors and when you land with bird on? Okay. Very simplified speaking, we usually land, well, we would normally always land with the flight directors on. We call that use of, maximum use of automation. Automation, not just only in the sense of autopilot, but also when you fly without the autopilot, so manual flight, you use flight directors, which are part of the flight director autopilot system. And obviously, there are certain approaches where you can't fly in ILS, for example, where you're flying non-precision approaches without lateral and vertical guidance, maybe. And
Welcome
so
aboard
that's
the
when
Captain Black Box Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Fabio.
Have a good flight, Captain.
Fabio Lessa, thank you so much for the 7 months and also for the kind words. Yes. Are you flying today as well, Fabio? If so, also have nice landings. Yeah, so whenever you have a visual approach or a non-precision approach where the flight director guidance doesn't make sense or is below minimums, then we would switch off the flight directors and have the bird on. Now, sometimes for training purposes as well, we would also switch off the flight directors and put the bird on. Although, I mean, I've seen, even myself, I've done approaches where I just switched off the flight directors and also left the bird off. So you would have a display just like that. That's fine. It depends on the airline, obviously,
the Captain Black
on the
Box
SOPs.
Duo Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Thank you very much also to Ozzy Mortner coming in with 7 months. Ozzy, thank you so much. Hold on. Right, there's our co-pilot with us. So let's see if we can start everything up here. There we go. Moritz, you would have to look. Into the list regarding which of the versions have the Paris Charles de Gaulle airport scenery. I don't know off by heart, to be honest. I have the deluxe version, and I don't know exactly where, at which point you would have that. Now, let me try one more thing though. Control options. Just make sure that I have set everything correctly for the. Yeah, you see, I need to have that set for FENIX FS2 crew. There it is. Yeah. So there's my first officer setting up some stuff. Let's do the rest here. That looks good. All right. Yeah, Christian, right? I mean, that's why I wanted to try it out today. 100%. So let's do that. Mass and balance. So planned fuel is 9.8. So let me do refueling first of all. And Mark, hello to you. Yeah, 11 minutes late. I was just about to ask what happened. Don't tell me you overslept. Guys, I mean, I loved flying again, IRL. But the night flight back again from the US, I had the first break and I couldn't sleep, so it's, you know, a full lost night for me. Jeez. Auto FPS. Well, for me, Solilo, yeah, I guess it's a good app for people that struggle with FPS, especially if you use DX11. For me, I use DX12, and I nice power slide there, and I limit my FPS to 60 and have VSync on, and yeah, everything's fine with me. I don't drop below 60 FPS. Everything's butter smooth.
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Timpinator, so if you want to learn the FS Lab, or the FENIX, sorry, I said FS Labs, the FENIX in more depth, I would recommend you looking at some tutorial videos. And obviously I'm going to advertise for my own channel on YouTube. I've done many...
I'm out for the walk around.
Thank you. Done many tutorial videos. Mostly, however, on the FS Labs, but considering that the FS Labs is, you know, pretty much, well, maybe even a little bit more in depth than the FENIX, you can use those videos here with the FENIX as well. Hazelend, how are you doing? So we've got Faroe line 52 Foxtrot, Paris to Vagar. Bergen is the alternate 2 hours 13. Estimated flight time en route, and then we'll see how long it takes in the end. Today's schedule is as follows. So we're flying Paris to Vagar, and then the second flight will be a multiplayer flight, group flight for the 1-inch Naut Colombian tour, continuing there from Sierra Kilo Charlie Golf to Sierra Kilo Charlie Lima today. Definitely going to be a lovely interesting approach again. Right, 8,840, so he's refueling nicely. Beautiful. Excellent. Nice, so we've done that. How are we going to do this? So let's... Oh. It's raining again. Just trying to see. I thought I had a button modeled for that as well, but no. So let's import that. But hopefully we'll get a clearance via PDC. Fantastic. Yeah, we'll get the clearance via PDC. We'll fetch that in a minute so we know where to go and what to program. And here we'll fetch the flight plan. So import. Tony, has it worked now? So Tony, once you get the thumbs up in the welcome channel, which should happen pretty much automatic, then you should be able to see all of the channels, apart from the subscriber channels, obviously, but the rest you will see. So 2 hours 13. The weather today, Vagar 350/18, light snow showers. That could be spicy. Bergen looks okay as the alternate, but we're going to monitor that. You can see a bit higher up, that's the mountain skeet. And on the mountain side, so I don't know which mountains we're talking about, but the airport is there. So I guess it's one of these mountain tops where they also measure the wind speed, so that pilots have a good idea on winds aloft. And then winds at the airport, and potential wind shear. Okay, it worked, Tony. Fantastic. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. So there we go. And so let's get cracking here. So we got yeah. Let's request boarding. And then we'll do boarding here, load aircraft, 20 minutes real time. Fantastic. Pushback in about 20-25 minutes, Kipman. Are you all ready?
Do you want to board crew?
I'm back. No issue on the walk around.
Thank you. FENIX livery manager was down yesterday. Okay. Did they say why? 5-2 Foxtrot. 5-2 Foxtrot. Cost index is going to be 15. Cruise level 360. And the temperature up there. Is going to be -60 then. All right, that's pretty cold. -60. Temperature here is +7. Tropopause, yeah, about 32,000 feet is correct. And we're expecting a zero fuel weight of 58. Oh, Mark. So here's an interesting thing that happened to me IRL. So what we normally do, at least what I do, is before I leave the hotel, I will download the flight plan for the return flight in the hotel already. So I have my EFB, and then I download all the documents, flight plan, NOTAMs, weather charts, etc., onto my personal EFB, and then I would, go through that and then already decide on a, block fuel value for myself. I won't communicate that to the first officers or the first officer straight away, especially if the first officer is the pilot flying for the flight. Then I would wait to get his input on the amount of fuel he wants to have, and then I can adjust if necessary. Oh, you think that version 2 is imminent? Ah, okay. Hey, Drehflüger, wie geht's? Yeah, Puri, absolutely. If version 2 hits the store from FENIX, I will definitely cover it. You can bet on that. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So the thing was that we had a zero fuel weight for the return flight, and based on that zero fuel weight, we decided on the fuel value, got into the flight deck, did our preparations, and then at some point, well, we had checked the flight plan that we loaded at that time when we reached the flight deck, and the OFP was the same as the one we'd received in the hotel. So there's no changes there. So we fueled the aircraft, and then 10 minutes prior boarding, we got a message saying that there had been an update with the flight plan. So we updated the flight plan EFB, and the zero fuel weight jumped by, I think it was 8 tons. And so I guess they found some cargo, whatever. And then, of course, the whole...
Hi, the security and safety check are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, of course, yeah. So, of course, then the whole trip fuel planning and the alternate planning, etc., is wrong, right? If you weigh 8 tons more, the overall requirements for fuel gets higher. It's simple as that. And so we had to actually, call in the fuel truck again and refuel the aircraft to our new value that we've then worked out. Now, luckily, that didn't cause a delay in the end, but it's something that can happen, and there's a reason why on our checklist in the 787 and the one that we have, the pre-flight checklist, there's a point that asks for fuel, so block fuel, and then I would read off the fuel as we have displayed on the ICAS, and then the first officer will check the fuel ordered from the flight plan. Also, you will have a prompt saying, or in the briefing actually. So in the briefing, we brief the arrival fuel and the extra fuel that we have at our destination, and if the fuel or the zero fuel weight value goes up by 8 tons, you will see that also in the EFOP for the arrival fuel at destination, assuming that you have entered the correct zero fuel weight in the box. But these things kind of signal to me again how important it is to stick to the SOPs, because these are like little safeguards that actually prevent you from leaving the airport with too little fuel, and then in the end getting into a situation where you may have to land to refuel somewhere, which is expensive, obviously, especially with a long range jet. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, we'll do that. Exactly. So we got 991 on the altimeter. 991, and I'm happy to say today my mini FCU actually works. Yeah, it's syncing up with the numbers on my display as well. Very cool. 991. So let me get the clearance before we do anything else. Let me go ahead and get the clearance. Yeah, so I was actually surprised. I was very surprised that we don't have version 2 FENIX out yet. I would have thought after that video coming out and the hype it created, that it would actually be out there now. So we've got information Foxtrot. Gate number, what was the gate again? Yankee 5. Man, it's busy here. Already see the aircraft lining up there. Gate Yankee 5. At the station Lima Foxtrot Papa Golf. Lima Foxtrot Papa Golf. Bonsoir. I don't think they read that, but just trying to be be nice. Hey, Adamico, buenas noches. I was cycling today, not outside but inside today. So how are you doing? Nice to see you. Cool. So we're just going to wait for the confirmation regarding... Although, I mean, I think we're going to take the northern runway, which means we will depart on the 9 right. Let me just show you that here. So we're parked here. Normally we would go taxi via, what's this one called? Alpha, I think. Alpha, and then it'll be probably Delta 3, runway 9 right. But we'll get the clearance now, so let's have a look here. And you're clear to Vagar, runway 9 right, Atrex 5 Golf, initial climb level 100, which I'll dial in my mini FCU. Squawk 5734. When ready, call frequency 121840. And if unable, call voice. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll accept it. Send that off. 5734. That's why I wanted to do the flight today in the FENIX, so we have Super DLC. You guess, Tom? You guess it's next Tuesday. Okay. Well, I think it's probably a good idea not to release over the weekend, because if there's any issues, obviously the team should be enjoying their weekend, and then you have the customers being upset because there are issues, and there's nobody to support them, right? So I think, yeah, probably a better idea not to go and release on the weekends. But I'm excited, definitely, because again, I want to see all about the changes, especially with the engine power. Pitch and power values and so on. So pre-departure clearance. Received. Hang on. That's the preliminary 58. Where's my ATC com? Let me just go back here. So ATC com message record. That's what I want. So here we go. So cleared. The Atrex 5 Golf. There's so many departures. You have to be so careful to hit the right button there. So Atrex 5 Golf it is. And then we've got all the routing. Upper Lima 613 to Zovat. Actually, prior to that, we've got Uniform Tango 225, correct, Vesan. Uniform Lima 613, Zovat. Then Lima 613, Tala. All the way down to Tala, correct. Then direct to Stornoway, direct Dosun, direct Sudur. And from there, we're going to shoot the Yankee approach, ILS Yankee. So let's go flight plan. Okay, so Armory actually said there's no releases on the weekends. Okay, cool. So we're going to choose the Alice Victor 30 with the Sudur transition. And I'll show you why, because that's Sudur. And then we fly the Arnov arrival onto the ILS. And yeah, so this is the ILS Victor 30. So that is the plan. Insert. So I'm going to check that we have no discontinuities in here. We'll check the arrival later on. We have a bit of time in the cruise flight, so that's all fine. Including misapproach. So now I'm going to go ahead and do secondary flight plan. Copy the active. Let's pull up our airport infos. So 9 right, it'll be the engine out procedure 1900 feet, then straight out to 25 miles to hold. Is it still 085? Sometimes variation changes. It's 084 now, so it's changed by 1 degree. So 084, 25 miles to hold. And we've got NEDP 1, it says here, which we'll do. Yeah, we'll do NEDP 1. Nonetheless, what we'll do is we'll have a look for the return. And there we're going to arrive and land on 9 left. No star, no via. And for the engine up procedure, we'll put in Lima Foxtrot Papa Golf, 09 right. 084 degrees radial, 25 miles. So, last thing to do is performance. And so...
Hi guys, here's the load sheet for you.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a safe flight.
So, let's just check here. How many minutes do we have left here? 13 minutes. Crystal, this is from the FS2 crew. So I'm using, good look at the weather, blimey. So I'm using FS2 crew, including the animated first officer. And yeah, so all these voices are coming from that. So we're going to calculate the takeoff performance. So we've got preliminary load sheet. How far are we with the loading? Yeah, we're still boarding according to that. That's why. Thank you much, Mark, for the link. Cool. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, so we'll wait for the final figures, but we can work out the preliminaries. And so zero fuel weight, according to the flight plan, was about 58. So 58 plus the fuel, so about 67.6. 67.6 is what we're going to calculate with. So not 68, but 67. Well, I'm going to put a little bit more. So 67.7. Anti-ice, yes, because it is raining. Only plus 7 degrees. So it's colder than plus 10. And we have visible moisture, obviously. So we'll do packs off takeoff, optimum, sync the live weather. Let me just add 1 more degree here. 8 degrees, and I'll put 990 to calculate with. Oh, and we need to do intersection as well. Kolimata, hey. Terrain issues right now, I can't really say, Kolimata, because I'm using a fix. Oh, no, I've got the wrong runway anyway, so 9 right. So we'll see once we taxi out. Apparently, from flightsim.to there is a fix for taxiways and elevation data. So I hope that that works. And just look at the intersection. So normally it would be Delta 3. However, I've had cases where it would be Delta 4 or even Delta 5. Although Delta 5, nah, let's do Delta 4. So we'll work that with Delta 4. Careful with the the anti-ice, because yeah, the max. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, the 737 max has issues, doesn't it? So shift 700 meters, we got flaps 2 down 0.3. So 2 down 0.3. Performance down 0.3. 48 flex and 700 meters shift. It was bad. Okay, so Kolimato, you want to share what issues you had, just to give me heads up what I might run into. 48, 49, 49. And we had NADP 1, 1900 and 3400. And engine out is 1900. Cool. So wing anti-ice is usually done when you can see ice forming up on this icing indicator here. Real world. Now, what you can do in the simulator to help you is you can, here in the FENIX, for example, you can select a setting called sim settings, and then here under AMI, you can actually switch on ice detection. So that will give you an ECAM message saying ice. So that I've switched it off because we never had that in real life, so that's how I do it. So let me go and go with the departure chart. So that was the 5 Golf, Atrex 5 Golf, wasn't it? Yeah, 5 Golf, so 91, 92 Atrex. So 91, 92 Atrex. So climb 084 track to Papa Golf 091 and Papa Golf 092. We've got a clearance from ATC, top level 100. Yeah, so that's pretty much straightforward. So weather is, let's call it marginal. We do config 2 takeoff runway 09 right. So just setting things up with the FS2 crew. 148, 149, 149. We've got 48 flex. Cruise 36,000. And then transition here is in 5,000. And the CG is going to be round about. It's not far from the runway, about a taxiways. Okay. So hopefully with the 09 in use, yeah, hopefully that will be okay. Boarding is completed, fantastic. So we should get the final load sheet now. And 29.3, so 29% is fine. There we go. Jetway is moving away. And then let's have a look at the final load sheet. ATSU AOC menu, receive messages. So we're just waiting now for the load sheet to come through. Hey, Flurkle, ciao. How are you? So how's the FPS doing? Yeah. I guess FPS are like 56. I guess that's because of the traffic load. Look at all the traffic. That all there. Taxing out. Oh boy. Got some heavies as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. GG's. That's a lot of traffic there as well. Blimey.
Hey guys, all packs are on board. Are we clear to close?
Yes.
Thanks. Let me know if you need anything.
Will do. Thank you. No. Thank you. Go away. So, let's do ground services. So we'll check that we have external power available light there, which we do. So let's get rid of the GPU. And let's check parking brake set. It's set, so let's get rid of the chocks. Oh, lovely, another Faroe line. Fantastic, cool. Kolimata, I will definitely try out beyond ATC. It sounds very, very interesting, although I am a bit confused regarding the pricing model. Because if you go like all in, then it can get pretty expensive, right? Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
So A320, currently no technical issues. Tech look is clean. We ordered 9.8 tons of fuel, symmetrically supplied, giving us a bit of extra fuel. We'll check the flight plan for that. So the extra fuel, I think I had about half an hour, just in case we go around, so that we have a chance to do a second approach there. Alternate Bergen is plan B, looking fine, but we'll have to monitor that. Departure is cleared the Atrix 5 Golf, enough to level 100, and specials, no turn before, that's 9 left, disregard. So yeah, we'll stay on the tower frequency until we get cleared to departure. And yeah, in case of engine failure, straight out 25 miles, acceleration 1900, cleanup, climb 4000, radar vectors will come back for 9 left. RTO is not critical today, so we'll abort until V1. For thrust loss, ATC call aircraft not controllable, all the warnings, cautions coming through the inhibition phase. Any questions?
No questions.
So normally I would have the cockpit preparation checklist. Let's try that. Cockpit preparation checklist.
Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Fuel quantity.
9,670 kilograms. 9,760 kilograms.
Seatbelts.
On.
ADIRS.
Enough.
Faroe ref.
991 set. 991 set. Set and checked.
991 set. Cockpit preparation checklist completed.
Thank you. No, so Philip, you are not allowed to do a reduced thrust takeoff on a contaminated runway. Now, a wet runway is not contaminated. So usually until 3 millimeter standing water, it's only wet. When it gets above 3 millimeter water, then it's considered as contaminated. Or if you have snow, slush, etc. But just a wet runway, as we have today, that is not considered as being contaminated. Right, so I think we can go now. Let me have a look at the clearance again. Recon. Okay, so we have to go here. ATC com messages. So we contact 12184. So we're fully ready. Okay, let's do the items first of all before we call in. So put all the fuel pumps on. Beacon goes on. A pupil lead is available. That looks good. Before start checklist.
Parking brake.
Set.
Takeoff speeds and thrust.
148, 148, 149. Flexing 48 degrees.
V1 148 VR 149 V2 149 flex temp 48 degrees. Windows
Closed.
Beacon
On.
before start checklist completed.
So I need to check something here quickly with the final load sheet. So 58 tons it is, and the trim is 31.70 fuel weight. Takeoff weight is 67.5. So for taxi out, we need about 200 kilograms, so that will be fine. And the alternate fuel value is 2.3 tons. So that will get better as we fly along later on. Hey, Simfighter pilot. Yeah. So the takeoff inhibit is usually comes on in the A320 when you have takeoff power set, and that will inhibit the messages or the warnings, cautions that are not so important. So the warning system will filter out automatically not so important messages. The same for the landing, right? During landing below 800 feet, you get the landing inhibit. Same thing. Only important messages like fire warnings, smoke warnings, engine-related stuff will come through. Hey, Gert. Yeah, correct. Yeah, so collimator, I would definitely look into it and see, what makes most sense. Hey, Pot. Yeah, happy Sunday to you. F7 fighter. Why was VR readback 149? Oh, hang on. Did I miss something? Oh, sorry. Hang on. Maybe there's a mismatch between... yeah, you're right. So it should be 149. Good catch. Good catch, sir. And I'll change that in the F2 crew as well. So let's call in. Paris de Gaulle, bonjour. Fairline 53 Foxtrot. Correct, 52 Foxtrot is at Yankee 5, fully ready.
Fairline 52 Foxtrot, bonjour. For push and start, contact ground 12161, over.
We'll contact 12161 for push and start. Fairline 52 Foxtrot, thank you. Oh, hang on, what did I put in now? Hang on, 12161.
Right, and then right again for Delta 4. Missed that, sorry.
Let's already get GSX running with the pushback.
Is it 266? Your number 2 for push. There's the traffic entry.
Hey, BMW, how you doing?
I'll clear that shortly.
Is the ATC loud enough, guys? Or do I need to pump that up?
Turkish 2923, push and start approved, facing west.
To go ground, bonsoir. Fairline 52 Foxtrot, Yankee 5, request push.
Fairline 52 Foxtrot, bonsoir, push and start approved, facing north.
Push start approved, face north. Thank you. Fairline 52 Foxtrot. Facing north.
November, Niner Alpha X-ray, and take the next right to join
5-5, Valentino, fantastic.
And holding point Delta 4, 110, Niner right.
Delta 4.
Facing north.
Right, November 9 Alpha.
Facing north. Now that's an interesting one.
Go ground, bonsoir. Lufthansa 8 Kilo Juliet, Quebec 2.
Lufthansa 8 Kilo Juliet, bonsoir. Taxi right on Quebec and hold short of Foxtrot.
Right on Quebec, hold short Foxtrot. Lufthansa 8 Kilo Juliet.
Because normally... So normally, what happens...
You can follow the citation via Delta.
So they would push you here onto Alpha.
Follow the citation via Delta to holding point Delta 4, runway 09 right, within 615.
And Fairline 5 to Foxtrot. Just to confirm, we're going to be pushing onto Alpha facing north, correct?
119 or decimal 250, Shamrock 832.
Fairline 52 Foxtrot, A firm.
Thank you. Okay, so that's unusual.
No, 9 Alpha X-ray. Seems like we missed Delta.
I mean, I haven't been here for a while, but...
Quebec, and then that will go back into Delta.
Quebec and back onto Delta, number 9 Alpha X-ray.
But that's fine with me.
DG 266, push and start approved, facing west, make it a short push.
266, copy, facing west, short push.
What's that cloud doing there? I can't see.
Exiting from editing mode. Please wait.
Lovely. condition. Love it. Icing condition. Oui, oui. So, Kipman, off we go, right? I'm looking forward to this. So, we've done everything. Checklist has been completed. What's contaminated is the air, yeah. I mean,
45 AK.
no denying that. It is wet. Now, it's not... hang on. Starting engine 2.
Okay.
It doesn't have icing conditions. I mean, plus 7 degrees, wet is not icing conditions. That's still GSX. I don't know why they can't fix that, for crying out loud. I'm sure they've been told so many times.
Ground Austrian Papa Echo on Foxtrot.
Okay, bonjour, taxi left on Delta.
Left on Delta, Austrian Papa Echo.
Plan 69 Foxtrot, Yankee for quick exchange.
And Alpine 69 Yankee Foxtrot, contact tower 119.25.
Umberto, yeah.
Tower 19250, plan 69.
Starting engine 1.
Okay.
Delta 60 Delta Zulu, pushing Faroe.
Brake set. Remove tone system and steering pin, please.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine.
2 hours flight time. 2 hours 10, roundabout.
Lufthansa 8 Kilo Juliet.
Lufthansa 8 Kilo Juliet.
No, so the engine up procedures, they are airline dependent, and so you will not see them normally published anywhere. Sheetwetter, yeah. Hey Jeremiah, how are you?
X-ray 5 is the stand. Lufthansa 8 Kilo Juliet, thank you.
Good engine start. Let's go ahead and do the items here. I'm going to switch on the engine NTIs.
Turkish 2923 taxi. Actually, taxi straight ahead on Bravo and hold short of runway 098 at Delta 3.
After start checklist.
Anti-ice.
Engine anti-ice on.
ECAM status.
Checked.
I'm very sorry I had
trim.
to take Quebec because Delta only starts
29% set.
now in my
Rudder trim.
scenery, so I'm turning
Neutral.
I'm Delta now, Austrian Papa Echo.
After start checklist completed.
5 AK, no problem.
Right. This will be interesting now to get the taxi clearance. So we're just going to wait for the all clear signal from a ramp agent. Yeah, so Rhinoceros, I have to try. The Aerosoft one. I actually got gifted a copy, but I want to try it offline first before I try it online. God, it's busy here. Blimey. Probably Alpha Mike. Fairline 5 to Foxtrot, request taxi.
Island 52 Foxtrot taxi via Mike Bravo and via Mike Bravo and hold short of Delta.
Mike Bravo, hold short Delta, Fairline 5 to Foxtrot. Clear left side.
It's your right side.
So Mike is the one to the left, and then Bravo. So we swing over once we get to that there. Okay. Brake check.
November 9 Alpha X-ray, should we contact there?
Pressure 0.
November 9 Alpha X-ray Axiom, now 119250, bye-bye.
119425, thanks for the Alpha 9 Alpha X.
Does that do anything here?
And to confirm the holding point, Delta 4, one-way 09 right.
Affirmative, Delta 4, 09 right, waiting in 6 Alpha Echo.
Not really, but we'll take it. So hold short Delta.
266 taxi via Bravo and holding point Delta 3, one-way 09 right.
Was that for us? No. Bravo. Oh, there's Delta. Okay, so prior to that crossing... Yeah, that's...
MSFS Delta Zulu, your score is 5770.
5770,
That's horrible weather. Blimey. Flight control check.
Ready? Full up.
MSFS Delta Zulu, taxi, second
Full
right
down.
on Quebec, hold short of
Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Rudder.
Full left. Full right. Neutral.
During 3, Golf Whiskey, push and start approved. I think that's facing south.
Pushback approved, facing south, you're running 30.
They're closing 5 minutes? No.
Ocean 45 Echo, 1 able, taxi holding point Delta 3, one way, 09 right.
I think that was for us.
Ocean 45 Echo?
No.
Go ahead, sorry.
45 Echo, so your holding point is Delta 3, so that's not where the queue is, it's the next one to the right.
Alright, so holding point Delta 3, Austrian, go back up.
So I've got to swing onto Bravo and then hold short of Delta.
Air France 1 for Tango at Foxtrot.
Air France 1 for Tango, bonjour, continue on Foxtrot, then Delta, holding point Delta 4, one way, 09 right.
Continue Foxtrot, then Delta, and then Delta 409 right. Air France 1 for Tango.
Turkish 2923, give way to the Austrian A320 coming on your right hand side.
So I'm just going to go into the end. We swing right onto Bravo.
Thank you, Windmill 6 Alpha Echo, contact tower 119250, bye.
And hold short Bravo, okay.
119250, bye-bye, waiting 6 Alpha Echo.
Alpha 62 Delta Zulu, contact ground 121.
Wow, it's busy. What do you expect from FENIX update? A lot of improvements, especially with engine related stuff. I'm happy here with the textures as they are, but I mean, it's nice to hear that they're going to have a bit of performance improvements.
British 1306, calling. 1306, bonjour,
so I'm just going to stop here
holding point Delta 3, one way,
because there's a EasyJet coming.
Bravo, holding point Delta 3.
He's in a hurry. Blimey.
Turkish 2923, sorry, Austrian 45 Echo first, contact tower 119250, bye-bye.
119250, Austrian, cover back, thank you very much for the HC.
And Turkish 2923, contact tower 119250, bye-bye.
121, correction, 119.250.
In easy 206, crash 266, you missed the turn, that's fine, taxi right, and then right again on Delta to join Delta 3, holding point, one way, 09 right.
Right, and then right again for Delta 3.
And power line 52 Foxtrot, continue taxi via Bravo, holding point Delta 4, one way, 09 right.
Bravo, holding point Delta 4, 09 right, Faroe line 5 to Foxtrot.
The ground, good evening. France 411, we just left runway.
So Delta 4 is there.
Right. We are
so we've got to queue in with the rest
1218110.
here. So, Simp Fighter Pilots, have a good one. Good night. Thanks for joining. Right.
Frequency is 121810.
I'm happy that we've got some extra fuel. That's really busy here. My God. Tower is going to be 19225.
Quebec. Okay, if we take the first one left at Delta, then continue Delta.
That's fine, Air France 1 for Tango.
Yeah, thank you very much, my apologies. Air France 1 for Tango.
The thing is, so Paris is relatively complicated to taxi around in. I've always found it very challenging. I mean, once you know your way around, once you know all of the you know, the quirks, it's okay. But initially,
The station calling your call sign again?
I think that's Kidman right ahead of me there, with the one engine out. Don't know why it's animating the landing gear extension all the time. Bit strange. Aviation G, this is the standard, so the handcrafted Asobo Paris. But I have downloaded a fix.
Be on 121810.
That is weird. Like, why is that animation going on? Do I have a list of all the mods? I don't really use many mods, Joa. I use, you know, GSX, for example. What kind of thing?
It's 121810.
Oh, blimey. Yeah, so I use GSX. Yeah, that was a call. I use GSX, and I think that's Kidman. Then I use the Rex Ecu Season. Rex Ecu Season.
Taxi right on Bravo, hold short of Foxtrot.
And apart from that, I honestly, well, I mean, it's little apps like the G's app, for example, for the landing rate. Because I think that's a little bit more accurate. So it's especially helpful here on stream, because people always tell me their back hurts, even though it's a perfect good greaser, right? So now I have better proof. So what do I expect from the version 2 of the FENIX? Like I said, many improvements. Engine.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we are all closing due to the end of the event and the short staffing. So please, Unicom 1228.
Uh-oh.
Again, all station on this frequency, please switch to Unicom 122-Simulate. Have a lovely flight, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for flying.
Oh, I didn't realize they were so... I wasn't aware of that they're closing so early today. Well, I mean, so we're missing the takeoff clearance. The rest was alright. Yes, it's FSLTL, exactly. So that's the model matching that I'm using, yeah. Wow, this is going to be interesting now. Departure 124. I'm just wondering if departure is staying online a bit longer. But I doubt it. I think it's going to be offline as well. Empty cross. Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Crossing runway 9 right.
High quality microphone there. Yeah, Puri, right? That'll definitely convince them.
Turbo traffic is no problems in right side.
Taxi checklist.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flap setting.
Config 2.
Config 2. Radar and predictive wind shear system.
On and auto.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff, no blue.
Taxi checklist completed.
Gilend, yeah. It will be chaos. I would hope that we're doing kind of a zipper logic, if you know what I mean. So here's the Turkish. Now, hopefully this guy departs, then the easy can go, then that colleague there, and so on. So, you know, kind of a ping pong there.
Turkish traffic.
Yeah, it can happen, yeah. Crystal. Especially in Quito, with being a very high airport. It can happen. I'm not saying it makes sense, but a config flap 3 or flap 3 setting for takeoff can happen, yeah. Have you ever tried Microsoft Auto FPS? Well, so the thing is this. My FPS, now I'm saying usually, I'm actually 60 FPS most of the time, apart from these events with so many traffic and here in Paris. Then I drop to maybe, 55. But apart from that, with DX12 and frame generation
Welcome
on,
aboard the Captain Black Box Duo Channel Experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight infotainment will be served. Thank you.
Hey Jalen, thank you much for the 3 months.
Keep up the great work and terrible weather. Good luck on the departure and see you in the skies.
Thank you so much, Jalen. Much appreciated. Thank you very much, Jalen. Big round of applause. Yeah, Kidman. I commented on that as well. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. I've never seen it this way.
To go traffic, Austrian 45 Echo on the run 5 Golf departure, climbing to flight level 370.
Yeah, so Crystal, I'm using manual settings, so I'm not using automation with AccuSeasons. I always do that manually.
Bravo, Delta 1.
So who's departing now? Come on. Someone line up, please. There we go.
The goal traffic Lufthansa 2232 pushing back from stand Delta 08. The goal.
Just go around them. Nah. So right now, yeah, the EasyJet has lined up as expected, and I hope that next one will be this guy here.
Local traffic, Air France 56 Sierra Juliet, established on ILS 09er left.
Gonna put TA already on here.
Easy 64 Whiskey Charlie, what is your intention?
My intentions, sir, are to go on Golf 3 and then November Bravo to Delta 1, but it has become evident that is not possible.
I love it. It has become evident that is not possible. GG's.
Thank you very much.
I'd say it's rather busy today, isn't it? Oh dear. Love it. Spiffing. I don't know what kind of... Is that... I mean, that's a small aircraft on my screen, but I don't know, is that really...
Bridge 1306 lining up, runway 09 right.
Okay, so he's lining up now. Actually, I'm honestly surprised how coordinated everything's running. Really nice. GG's.
Bridge 1306, departing 09 right. Go.
Right, Kipman, your turn.
The Gulf traffic, windmill 6 Alpha Echo, line up, runway 09 right. The Gulf.
Excuse me. Why is that picture not running? There we go.
Ryan, Chile, ticket runway 08 right.
No, the Biko, that's only in contaminated. So on, you know, on very slippery surfaces. If it's wet, you can set the parking brake. That's no problem. Runway entry procedure.
Takeoff runway confirm. Approach path clear of traffic.
Lineup checklist.
Takeoff runway.
Confirmed.
Runway 09 right. Confirmed. TCAS. Runway.
TARA.
PAX 1 and 2.
Taking off runway 9 right.
Off.
Lineup checklist completed.
Takeoff traffic, Faroe line 5 to Foxtrot, lining up 9 right, Delta 4 in Paris, Charles de Gaulle. Grind, nee, Puri, haven't heard about that. Yeah, I'm just seeing that departure is departure still online? 2435.
Traffic crossing runway 9 right, I'm taking off now.
Yeah, Peter 150 Pushback and Bravo 13 departure, facing to the west.
So approach path is clear. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'm going to go switch to departure when we're airborne. Yeah, because on my vPilot screen it still says we have de Gaulle. Yeah, there should be a departure radar online.
Traffic, Air 56 Sierra Juliet, runway 09 left, vacated.
Okay, and traffic, that's vacated 9 left. I'll wait for you until you've crossed 9 right.
Takeoff traffic, you're in 7544 on ILS 9 left.
Alright, well, if he doesn't want to go... Ready?
Ready.
Take off.
Check.
De Gaulle traffic, Faroe line 5 to Foxtrot, taking off runway 9 right in De Gaulle.
Set.
Take off.
Check.
Pulling short, runway 9
There we go. Manflex 48, SAS, runway auto thrust blue.
De Gaulle traffic, Air France 1 for Tango, lighting up runway 09 right. Air
Thrust set.
There is traffic evolution, KLM 24 now on
V1, rotate.
the runway 09 right, just Delta
Positive climb.
Gear up.
Air
Gear
France
up.
12 Tango, you can cross 09 right. I will wait for you.
It's not bad. We've got 5 miles to Kitman. That's good. What kind of frequency is that?
Packs are on.
The goal departure was Fairline 5 to Foxtrot, passing 3000, climbing level 100. Oh, 355. The goal departure was Fairline 5 to Foxtrot, passing 3300, climbing level 100.
Mission, with 1306, I confirm 5755.
Yep, got it, 5755.
And just to be sure, continue climb flight level 190. Radar 1306.
Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Radar 1306, nice.
Victor 132, level 190.
Faroe 52 Foxtrot, identified climb flight level 100, left heading 050, volume at fire.
Left heading 050, maintain level 100, Fairline 5 to Foxtrot. So, open climb heading. Yeah, it's FS2 crew, but this, so there's 2 versions you have to have. Oh wait, one you need the FS2 crew basic version for the FENIX, and if you want the animated first officer as well, that's a different pack you have to buy additionally to that. Flaps 1, flap 0.
Speed checked. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 0.
We were already on 0. Oh, Puri, that's terrible to read. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that, Puri.
Standard cross check.
Climbing flight level 190, Fairline 5 to Foxtrot.
0. Now.
Checked. Coming out of the clouds here, yeah.
The goal departure, Air France 1 for Tango, 2000 feet on the A320 Golf departure. Oscar Golf, caution. Say again, Oscar Golf, Oscar 6 Alpha Echo. Air France 1 for Tango, 2,300 feet on the A320 Golf departure. Air France 1 for Tango, flying 050, climb flight level 19.
Yeah, Khrushchev, yeah.
Flight level 190, Air France 1 for Tango. Oscar Echo, Oscar 6 Alpha Echo, direct Atrex.
Direct Atrex, merci, with 6 Alpha Echo.
So we've got to go left at some point. But yeah, there's lots of traffic inbound and outbound as well.
But 1306 monitor Unicom 122
Yeah, so he wants to separate us from the inbound traffic there. I guess past that one we'll be able to turn left.
Oscar Echo, Oscar 6 Alpha Echo for higher monitor Unicom 122.8. Bye bye.
Merci beaucoup, bonjour.
Wow, that is broken, isn't it? Look at that.
Monitor 1306, your leaving my space monitor Unicom 122.8. Au revoir.
Nice. I'm going to select 280 knots manual for the just in case we get some turbulence. Well, it's interesting. That kind of closed in quickly. Haley pilot, hey, how you doing?
Present heading interclimb flight level 19.
Continue present heading climb level 90, kilometer 24 Papa.
Overland 524 Foxtrot, direct Atrex.
Left to Atrex, thank you. Fairland 5 to Foxtrot.
524 Foxtrot, direct for higher, monitor Unicom 122.8, enjoy your flight.
Thank you so much for service, 122.8, Fairline 5 to Foxtrot, bye. There we go, as expected. So I'm going to go now, climb all the way to 360. So here's flight level 360. And Kidman is about 10 miles ahead of me, so should be no problem. But I will talk to him to see what kind of speed he's going to fly. Ugh. Landing lights off. Wing anti-ice on. Yeah, so this is the kind of temperature regions where I would expect aircraft icing as well. Hey, Newmark. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so Kipman, you're going level 320, Mach 78. Oh no, so flight level 380, Mach 0.78. Okay, so I'll be planning for 360. And let's have a look. Cruise. Yeah, also 78. Yeah. So we'll see who got the better wind. Well, let's close the speed window again. Manage speed. Let's speed up. Yeah, but it was nice to get control in Paris. So that doesn't happen often. So I'm going to clear the fix page. Clear that. RatNav is clear anyhow. Going to copy the flight plan. Seatbelts are going to leave on for now because it could still be a bit bumpy. That reminds me. Let me start. Real turb. Yeah, so real turb is now running.
The Charles de Gaulle traffic EZB 405 at the gate.
Wow, we're climbing really badly. Look at that. Kidman's already 9,000 feet higher than me. Blimey. It's as if we have icing, which we don't, but feels a little bit like it. That feels really strange. Yeah, we'll see. Does it really? Okay. Wing anti-ice off. Yeah, you're right. That does make I mean, it does make a difference in real life as well. But I've never really seen it that bad here in the sim. No, not really. I haven't changed anything with the loudness settings. I've dialed it down now, but the rain? That's pretty cool. I don't know why the cockpit is so bright. I don't have any lights on. Well, I have a little bit of floodlight on, but not much though. And the dome light is off. Yeah, I guess that's FENIX, right? So in the real life, what I normally do, if I expect to have turbulence in the climb out, I would tell and brief my cabin crew ahead of time. So usually prior to departure. So that they know that it's going to take a little bit longer until the seatbelt signs get switched off. So we're going to leave the engine anti-ice running until the SAT, so the static air temperature, gets to -40 and colder. Right? Because at that point it said that there's not much liquidity or ice crystals in the air that could cause icing. Ah, beautiful. Très gelé. Très gelé. Yeah, très gelé. So let's have a look here.
That's all right.
4-5. Oh.
That's all right.
Oh, come on. Yeah, loud and clear. Yeah. So routing takes us now towards I think that should be Ostende it's called, right? Yeah, I think that. So Boulogne Sumer, okay. Over the channel and just east of London, we'll go up towards Leicester. What's this airport? Never seen that one before. Hang on. East Midlands. All right. Oh, there we go. Fuck my turtle. Yeah, I apologize. I know my French is bad, so. So straight over the UK towards Scotland, past Edinburgh, and then we go Stornoway, and then we go up to the Faroe Islands. And again, if you've missed the pictures from the beginning, so this is from our last flight to the US. We actually got routed fairly far north because we had to circumnavigate some jet streams, and so the minimum time track was actually east of the UK and exactly overhead Faroe Islands. And here you can see Vagar, the airport. So this is where we're flying to right now. And so it's going to be a nice offset approach. Runway 30, I think it is now. So looking forward to that. Yeah, so when I flew over that in the real flight, I was like, oh man, I've got to go to Vagar again in the simulator. Hey Bob, how are you doing? Hope your travels are going well. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely very secluded. I guess it's not really your normal kind of summertime nor wintertime holiday location that we would go for, but I mean, I think it's probably going to be pretty in summertime. Yes, I can. Let me just have a look. currently, so that's brightness contrast. If I want to make a screenshot. Winky, I know. I'm just pulling pulling the leg from Lindley. Rich people got Manchester, have they? Okay. And color. I'm still experimenting a bit with color because the last time everything was a bit too pinkish. So I've put that to 20%, tint intensity 30. So I hope that helps. Okay, so we've got SAT now at -44. Engine anti-ice off. This is one thing that with the version 2 update, that will change. So you will have engine icing. So it will be interesting to see how the FENIX simulates that. Yeah, and the IAS, yeah. Or IAE engines, yeah. No, so Romax, I'm using VATSIM. I've been on VATSIM for, you know, pretty much all the time here in the sim since I started streaming, so... Seatbelts off. Yeah, so especially if the IAE sounds are good in the FENIX, that will be great. I love... Let me see. Mark has... Let me see if I still have that that video. Let's see. So where would I have that recording? That's the thing. Yeah, so let me just have a look. Maybe one of my mods can get a permit to Tim to post the link. It'll be a flat full landing. So Vagar has a fairly short runway. So it's definitely going to be a config full landing. So let me just get the infos here. So Vagar has only 1,800 meters. Okay, so that's the... let me just try that.
Engine 2 is nicely shielded by the fuselage.
37.
Now, compressor stall is not super common unless you really abuse the engine and take the aircraft way past its limits, both crosswind or tail.
Hang on, let me just get the sounds right. Hold on. I know the sounds are not coming through. Hold on.
It's actually relatively rare, and if you're sticking to the aircraft's crosswind limits, you're probably never going to see one unless you damage the engine prior and it's already clinging on to continued life.
Why does this actually happen, though? Well, the engine, when it's running at power in relatively normal conditions, the air traveling into the intake does so in something called a laminar flow. Smooth, in other words. When you're throwing a crosswind or tailwind into the mix, that smooth air into the engine becomes turbulent and messy. The compressor does not like turbulent air, and it will promptly throw a little fit, much like the one you've seen here. Now when this happens, just roll the power back to idle smoothly, and perhaps wait. Let's stand on the brakes and apply a bit of power.
Yeah, so here he actually demonstrates the engine stall, yeah.
Ah, yeah, that sounds...
So that's the thing with the simulation there, yeah, regarding icing of the fan blades and so on. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Coming out of the clouds. Oh, yeah. Sunshine. Erson, hey. And already leaving European, or I should say, I mean the continental coastline, going now over the channel towards Sandy. Dover to the right here. Yeah, I would expect them to get very good sounds, yeah. No doubt. Beautiful. Have I done a shared cockpit flight? Yes, so Night Fox, I've done that in X-Plane, but not in Microsoft Flight Sim yet. For X-Plane, I'm using Shared Flight. That's a new app that's coming out, and that's working already really, really well. And actually, Mark, are you ready for a Shared Flight on stream? So when the version 12.1 comes out, because that will have some performance improvements as well, apparently, including some graphics improvements. So maybe it would be a good time to try a shared flight on stream. You're free 2025. GG's. Yeah, so regarding performance improvements, I see it the same way. I always want to try it out myself and then see if it's really improved or not. We'll talk about it. Okay. Nice. I love the being above the clouds here. Beautiful. Yoda. Oh, I don't know. So Night Fox, I know that the shared flight, it will be a subscription-based thing because he'll offer, so they will offer a number of servers, which is actually the key improvement, really, where depending on the region that you're flying, you would then connect to a more local server, which will then improve the connection stability and connection ping times and so on. And for those server costs, I mean, it is fair to say that to have that as a subscription based. Heading 180, that depends on the aircraft certification. So our aircraft is certified for 180 minutes, so 3 hours flight time. The thing is that what you're referring to is the ETOPS area. So what that means is, let me just get my iPad really quickly. Yeah. Let's draw. Night Fox, nice. So your dad flies IRL as well. What kind of aircraft does he fly? Right, we got Mac out star, but we're gonna have cruise. So let me change. That's 360. That's set. Out star. Okay, that's interesting. Alt cruise and Mac. There we go. So now that we've reached cruising level, it's always a good idea to check through some of the systems here. Engine. The reason why I want to check the engine page is because when you reach the cruise level, the engines have been running at fairly high power settings for a long time. So just to make sure that oil pressures, oil temperatures, oil quantities are still good. Vibrations are good. Then we'll have a look at the bleed page. That's normal. Pressure page. That looks good. Electrics, IDG, temperature looking good.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box
Fuel.
Twitch channel subscriber
Temperatures
experience.
look good.
Could new
Conditioning
subscribers please make your way
looks
to
fine.
the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Hey, Flying Greenland. Hey, Flying Greenland.
Sitting on island radio as Atkin watching the stream. Have a great flight.
Thanks so much for Flying Greenland. I actually flew over the southern part of Greenland a couple of days ago, and unfortunately though, most of it was under clouds. We did catch a glimpse of part of Greenland there, but not much though, unfortunately. But we had a beautiful view of Iceland. That was lovely. So let me have a look at my pages. So we were talking about the ETOPS stuff. So here it is. So let me go get AirPlay. So I can mirror the screen here. There we go. So here you see a certain track, right? So that's a flight path, and usually you will see these flight paths optimized in a way that you try to avoid these areas with very high wind speeds. So obviously if you flew the Great Circle, so the straight line from A to B, that would cross or get you into the jet streams up here, 150 knots headwind. So it's more economical, more efficient to fly a routing which has more track mileage, but overall less headwind. So the other day when we flew to the US, so we flew this way. All right. So the jet streams were more to the south, and that's how we would have a routing there. Now, these circles here are one engine out, 1 hour flight time circles. For us, that's 431 nautical miles, still air distance. So as long as you have airports that you can reach within 1 hour flight time, still air, hey Stoffer, then you do not have ETOPS. So believe it or not, while we're flying further to the north, we always had airports. So Keflavik, we had Edinburgh, Glasgow. Here we had Sandefjord. And then we had an ETOPS section here in this part. So that was the ETOPS part. So the important thing is that when you get outside of the 1 hour single engine flight time, that's when you enter an ETOPS section. So you see the entry point here, right? That's the ETOPS section entry. And here we've got St. John's on the other side of the Atlantic, 1 hour flight time, single engine. That's the exit point of the ETOPS. So this part here, that is the ETOPS part of your flight. And for that you need a equal time point for different cases. So we have single engine, decompression, and single engine. And for us, the most limiting one is always the single engine decompression version. But you can see that the equitime points are fairly close together for all of these three cases. And since we have a lot of headwind on the way to the west, you can see that equitime point is shifted to the west. Because if you return with tailwind, you'll reach your ETOPS alternate quicker than continuing to your ETOPS alternate on the other side. But does that make sense? So don't get confused with the 1 hour single engine flight times and the ETOPS sections. So the ETOPS section mean, so here, your point of equal time, which means this point here means flight time to your alternate going back has the same flight time as the time to the alternate going forward. So that point there, the maximum time is 180 minutes. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the 350, doesn't the 350 have like 5 hours or something? There are aircraft that have a lot longer ETOPS times. Yeah, heading 180, fantastic.
Pacific Gulf, Bravo near landing operator 6, departure to west, VFR. Okay, so the 350 received a 370 minutes. Wow, that's a long time. 370 minutes. Imagine that. So imagine you had an engine failure, which also causes a decompression. So you have to descend to level 100. So imagine flying at level 100 for 370 minutes, assuming you go full extend on that ETOPS rating. Yeah, Trollman, thank you. So that's 370 minutes. That's such a long time. That's 6 hours plus 10 minutes. Yeah. Double the 787 ETOPS as well, yeah. That's crazy. I mean, that's long, not crazy, but that's a long time. Hey, HJ331, thank you much for the kind words. Well, I've been asked. I know I'm bragging now, but I've been asked just a couple of weeks ago if I want to become a trainer on the 787. The problem is, I don't have much time remaining until I retire. So 1.5 years until I retire. And the other thing is that I don't live at my home base. So when you are an instructor, you have a lot of simulator missions as well. So that would mean that I would probably have to, actually move to Frankfurt, which I'm not going to do at this time of my career. So, but definitely, I would have. I think I would have enjoyed it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Let's have a look at the flight plan. Let's check our flight times.
Delta traffic, Blimax line to Delta Romeo, push and start down to 5-3.
So there we go. So we've got Zovat. There we go, Zovat.
Mowgli, Zova, that's 19. Oh, I've forgotten to switch on the timer again. Because that was like 20 minutes after off blocks. Off blocks was at... off blocks was at 51. So we departed sim time 15:11 or something. So let's enter 15:11. Let's see how that works. So that's sim time, not real time. 15:11. And let's have a look at AppCat. AppCat was supposed to be 51 minutes. And yeah, let's try AppCat as a fuel check then. So that should be at 16:02. So let's have a look here. 16:02. There's a 6.3 tons there. AppCat, how much longer to AppCat? That's 120 miles, so that's a bit to go, isn't it? We'll see. Hang on. Chief instructor for the A320. Yeah, at least for the enthusiast flight simmers. Well, there we go. Asoba said they could make aircraft behavior more realistic, but they won't because they are afraid it would become too difficult. What, really? When did they say that? So in general, or which aircraft were they referring to? What's the plan for retirement, heli pilot? So I wanna go and get my private pilot license back again. So do some private flying with friends and family, and then get more into cooking. So my wife and me are thinking about doing cooking seminars, and you know, seminars regarding healthy meals, diets, and so on. And who knows, maybe again some cooking streams. Oh, you're joking, Kitman? Really? Vagar Tower is online. How cool is that? Yeah, exactly, Lewis. And that's the thing. It's a big topic, and there's lots of demand for it. So absolutely, yeah. Yeah, thank you, heli pilot. So here's the thing, guys. Another thing I'm looking forward to is just improving my fitness again. Well, I'm not bad regarding fitness, but it could be even better. I'm just looking forward to being able to, you know, eat healthy all the time, sleep at normal times all the time, do my workouts at a time that I want. So a lot of different things that I look forward to regarding retirement. Hey Honda Jet, how you doing? I know we've had discussions. People were asking, you know, hey, why would you quit the best job in the world? I mean, that's a legitimate question, because of course, you know, for many people, being an airline pilot is a dream job, and for me, it has been a dream job. It has been a dream job since I started training 1990, and got my first contract 1995. So it's been, you know, it'll be 30 years as an airline pilot next year. And I've thoroughly enjoyed my career. And I've also said that if someone would tell me, hey, if you were 20 years old again, 22 years old again, and you would be guaranteed the same career that you've been enjoying, over the last 30 years, would you do it again? And I would say 100%. Absolutely. I would do it again. But 30 years is a long time, and 30 years has shown me that yeah, you just don't know. I'm going to be 55 this year. 25 a lot. Add 30 to that almost. Yeah, 55 in October. So I've just come to realize that I don't know how many years I have left, and healthy years that I can remain nice and active, and working, especially full time, and working on long range is just very, very exhausting. I have a young voice. I have indeed, yeah. So Tony, the most chat is on Twitch. So I do dual stream, but we usually have about 3 times the people on Twitch compared to YouTube. So I'm not as big on YouTube as I am on Twitch. Yeah, well, 55, I still see it as being young, yes, but there's no denying that 30 years of higher radiation levels that I've come across, 30 years of not really healthy sleep patterns, lots of stress. It does wear you out. And again, I don't know how many years of health I have ahead of me. And when I started my career, the top age was 55. And it's only changed to 60 a short period afterwards. And then I think it was about 10 years ago, they changed it to 65. But when I started flying in 1990, everything was laid out, including pension funds, etc., was laid out for the age of 55, where you would leave the company. And you could fly privately, yeah, but not not as an airline pilot. Yeah, I don't feel old. Don't get me wrong. I don't feel old, but I've got a pension plan, and I've put savings to the sidelines exactly for this scenario, so that I can go and enjoy some other things in life. Yeah, ride your bike. Yeah, and well, I'm looking forward to hiking. Yeah, some bike rides. But also now the thing is, so people ask me then, well, what, you're not going to miss flying, you're not going to miss your life as an airline pilot. Well, yeah, I will. I will miss it. But the thing is, the biggest part about that is going to be, so what I'll miss most is the people that I get to meet all the time when I go flying. So there's so many wonderful and amazing people that I get to work with. I get to meet for a short period of time, and that's something I'm going to miss, definitely. But the flying side itself, I don't know. Yes, I will miss it a little bit, no doubt. But I think I'll not miss it as much as, the people. You feel old, Bob? No, you're not old. Hey, V2+10. Yeah, well, I'm planning to retire next year, October. Yeah, Puri, it's a good point, Puri. So one thing I've definitely missed over my career time as a pilot was, the time that I had available for my family. And I have a wonderful family and wonderful friends, and I look forward to spending, more time with them on a regular basis, being fully relaxed, not so tired and not so worn out. So yeah.
Yeah, Artie, you know, I'm actually aware of that. There's so many people that don't have the luxury of, you know, saving much money on the sidelines to maybe retire early. So I see it as a gift, right? And again, you know, I've also worked hard for that, no doubt. And I've you know, I've missed out on many things in life, especially regarding family. But yeah, it was all planned that way, and so that's why I do appreciate it. And for me, that's definitely not something to just you know, to accept as a normal way of living. A full-time streamer. Well, the thing is this. So Porches, I do want to spend time on things I enjoy, and I do enjoy streaming. I do enjoy, you know, the interaction with people, and here on the streams we have many wonderful people in the chat. I have many wonderful long-term viewers here that follow me along, and I enjoy that very much. And so if I didn't do that, I would not be streaming right now. I would have stopped a long time ago. So I will definitely continue streaming because yeah, it is. I do enjoy it, and I find, you know, developments here in flight simming, I find that really interesting, fascinating, and it's ongoing, right, as we speak. So that's really kind. Yeah, V2 plus 10. I am actually, right now, I'm already in the stage where on every flight that I go to, I already embrace it as, you know, as the path towards retirement now. So every flight, I do try to see it as being very special. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so regarding cooking streams, so guys, so this is the thing. My wife and me have a great relationship, and we do laugh a lot, and we do you know, we do sometimes have some childish behavior as well, right? So so one thing we try to then you know, spend more time together cooking, because I do enjoy cooking. It's just the kitchen we have right now is extremely small, and so in about 3 months' time, hopefully by that time, we'll have a much bigger kitchen, so that we don't drop knives on each other's feet all the time. So, hey MAN, nice to see you.
Cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
And Det STK, how you doing? Or Det Stick.
Hi Captain Blackbox 711. 65 months. How time flies. Looking forward to the group flight later.
Fantastic. So am I, Emin. Emin, thank you for the 65. And where's that? I miss your message saying you stream, I subscribe. Thank you so much, Emin, for the support. And I look forward to seeing you later on. Yeah, so the thing is this. I know that the cooking streams will be funny. You know, it's going to be, you know, not too serious in the sense, you know, we're not going to cook 5-star meals or anything like that. It's going to be, you know, very relaxed, and we're looking forward to answering questions. So people, MAN, fantastic. So I'm looking forward to, yeah, just the interaction again with the people watching that are interested in cooking, that are interested in some nutritional facts, yeah, all kinds of, and of course, here's the thing. So you guys are gonna give us challenges, right? And my wife loves these cooking challenges for sure, and yeah, and I'll be there for the entertainment for sure. Yes, of course. Yeah. Cooking stream with face reveal, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, there's a couple of things that I've learned over time, where I would say it has definitely helped me improve my health. And I've been everywhere regarding health and and weight and so I'm not I'm not naturally skinny. I'm actually a person that can store fat extremely efficiently and very quickly. So I've always had to look after my weight. I've been successful most of the time, but there was a period when, especially when I started long-range flying, where I just couldn't balance things. And over a period of about 5 years, long-range flying, I put on about 10 kilograms of weight. And that was a time when I seriously then thought about nutrition and exercise and trying to balance things out. And ever since I did that, things have improved drastically. And nowadays, with the fasting as well, so with the body cleansing thing on that side, that has really helped me. So I feel that really is something to maybe tell people about. The first cockpit, I have to see Voyager. I've just got a new setup for the GoPro. I have to try, but yeah, I'll try to get something going soon. Gilend, well, I'm pretty sure there will be some people flying along here in this community on my last flight. I have a feeling there's going to be a couple of people that will fly along. And up to now, there's only been one very lucky person that has been able to fly along and actually sit on the jump seat with me. Well, actually, I was flying, but that lucky person was sitting on a jump seat. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out for the last flight. Hey, Bob, yeah. Oh, well, that would be an honor, Bob, yeah. That would be an honor if you fly along. Yeah, the big hood, that's the thing. There's not enough jump seats. Yeah, and especially if you go towards the US, Canada, UK, yeah, then there's no option. You can't have anybody in the cockpit that's not on duty, so... I would assume it's going to be on the routing outside of these restricted areas, so that at least I have a chance to maybe take two people on the flight deck with me. And I would assume one of those will be reserved for my wife. I'm pretty sure that she wants to be riding along, and we'll see. We'll see who the other lucky person will be. MAN now, all good. I don't think the thing is, so the last flight will be very memorable, obviously, to have friends, family ride along on the last rotation. Yeah. Yeah. Imagine that, Lewis. Air Amaze, yeah, we'll just talk about it. Next year, October, I'll be retiring officially. At the age of 56. How about charter flight to East Midlands? Nope. Nothing against East Midlands, but no, we'll go somewhere. Go somewhere else. Air Amaze, thank you much. Yeah, it will be bittersweet. Yeah, yeah, but still, I'm looking forward to other things in life. So,
Yeah, I mean, 56 is young, yeah, especially these days when people say, you know, the 60 nowadays is like the, you know, 40, you know, or yeah, 60, the 60 is new 40 or something, I don't know. But, yeah, again, you know, you shouldn't take things for granted, especially health. So, you never know. You never know, you know, how things will develop from a certain age onwards. So, you know, I think I'd rather embrace time going forward in a manner that, yeah. Well, I really seriously try to enjoy every day. Lewis. Do it on a bicycle. You have the golden uniform, right? Yeah. Peter, so how much would you guess? How much would you guess chartering an airliner costs you? It is possible. I've seen the weirdest things in my career. I remember when I was a student in FENIX, we had a low approach of an MD, of a, what was it? A DC-10, sorry. I've got a picture. I'll show it not today, but I'll show it sometime on stream. I have a proof. So a picture in Goodyear, near FENIX, where there's a low approach of a Lufthansa DC-10 that was on a round-the-world tour that was chartered by a sports club. I don't remember which sports club. So they completely hired a DC-10 to fly around the world in, let's say, 10 days or something, or 14 days. So it is possible. Exactly. So MAN, I would guess the same. I think an hour of 320 charter. I don't know exactly, but I would guess in the regions of 30,000 euros. Yeah. So obviously you would charter that with pilots and cabin crew. And I think that's right about 30,000 in that region. Now 787, I don't know. 787 will be more in the region of like 50,000. Yeah. Yeah, why pilots exactly? What do you mean pilots? We can fly. Yeah, we're armchair pilots, right? So, hey Nige, good evening, how you doing? And Christian says you can serve the wine. Excellent. And you can do ATC as well, right? The most expensive class D simulator, yeah, absolutely. How big is your pension? Well, I don't disclose how much money I get for pension, but it's not going to be enough to charter a plane. Well, that's for sure. But maybe, hang on. So here's one thing though. Maybe there's a way that we can actually charter a level D simulator at some point in Frankfurt. So I could try to get a special deal, you know, depending on how many people would be willing to take part. So let's say we have like 10 people, and you know, we make kind of like a little seminar from that, where we have some theory prior to the flights, and then you know, if we hire the simulator for like maybe 5 hours or something, everyone could have at least half an hour flight time. So that would be one idea.
Voyager, that's a good question. The thing is, the simulator here in Bremen isn't bad. It's just the visuals, for example, are just not quite at the same standard as you would have in level D. And also in level D you have motion. And I think having motion in the simulator is something, you know, quite vital to have to get more immersed. Yeah. MAN, you would be part of it? Yeah, I would imagine so. I would be disappointed, MAN, if you weren't part of that. Commander Sweeney, we're flying to Bremen? You staying overnight or just flying and returning again? Good deal. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, Gillette, no. No. I've just got some pictures today from someone who's visited someone with that is building their home cockpit, A320. And I've seen the amount of wires lying around. And I was like, no way that I'd ever be able to do that. Just after the day. Client visit about 40 minutes away. Gotcha. Gotcha. The Flying Teenager, hello. How are you? I'm doing well. How are you? Just have a question for you. What do you think about the future of professional pilots? Do you think that the pilot job will still exist with Airbus project? Okay, so that's a very good question. And let's put it this way. I'm not making friends by expressing my personal view on this topic. It's a difficult topic. The reason why it's difficult is because at the very time right now, it's so difficult to predict how certain technologies that are now being looked at, and you're talking about, for example, I think you're talking about the Airbus, what's the project called? Dragonfly, I think it's called, right? Where you have a lot more automation coming into the aircraft. So right now the A350 can already do automatic emergency sends, for example.
What frequency am I on at the moment?
We're seeing in the private sector, so private jets actually having an automatic landing function. So if something happens, pilots becomes incapacitated, the aircraft will land at the next suitable airport automatically. So these are projects that are currently in force and worked on.
Hello, Black Box.
Hey, Brundle, there he is. So, 17:32. So we've got about an hour, 10 minutes to go to Vagar. So I'm running again a little bit behind schedule, unfortunately, but I know Brennell doesn't mind too bad as long as it doesn't get too late. Hey, Florian, nice to see you too. Yeah, so my take on how aviation going forward is the following. So if I'm saying right now, anybody that's, you know, a young person looking into becoming an airline pilot, I'm saying that right now it's still a fantastic profession. It's still extremely interesting, extremely challenging, and very satisfying as we speak. And I think it'll remain that way for the next 10 years for sure. So there's not going to be many big changes in the next 10 years, apart from maybe we will see a concept called single pilot concept in cruise flight in cargo planes. So first of all, maybe smaller cargo planes, then the larger cargo planes. So what does that mean? It means that when you reach cruising level, one of the pilots will go and rest. So they have, you know, some sleeping bunks somewhere in a separate room, probably connected directly to the flight deck.
So you would have a door here that connects to that area where you can sleep and rest. And if anything goes wrong or there's an emergency, you could very quickly get into the flight deck. So that's a step that currently is being worked on by aircraft developers. And the thing is, the main motivation is not to save money on pilot wages. I know that's always being, put up front for the reasoning. That is not the major reason. The major reason is pilot shortage. We've entered an era where demand for aviation, or demand for flying, is so high that the industries, being the aircraft manufacturer, nor the pilot training centers can keep up with that demand. And so there is definitely a huge number of pilot seats that are not going to be filled with pilots. That's interesting. You're right. Yeah, so the overlay is showing 34,000 feet. And we've got 36,000 feet here. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know where the data's coming from. Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably isn't standard. Okay, so hey Johnny, yeah. Like I said, making a private simulator at home is not my thing. It's just way too complicated for me. Yeah. So aviation. Coming back to the topic regarding how I see personally aviation going forward. So definitely there will be some changes in about between 5 to 10 years from now. And like I said, first we'll see that in cargo. Yeah, it is spicy, Brenold, yeah. So there will be some changes in the cargo flying, and then if that proves to be safe, and I have no doubt that it is safe with the new systems being implemented, then it will come to the normal airlines. And again, it's there to make sure that the airline or the aircraft that are being delivered to the airlines are actually being able to fly with regards to that. That's about 6 tons. High demand going forward. So for young people, I would say it's still a fantastic job to get into, and you'll still make good money in that sector. But going forward, you have to be ready for changes. Do I see completely autonomous flying in the next 25, 30 years? No, I don't see that on the horizon just yet. Just now, as we speak, a couple of days ago, I've read an article saying that autonomous driving has proven to be somewhat more complicated than expected. Huh, no joke. Really? I could have told you that without being, an expert in that region. The military is always a driver in these developments. I don't know. So Fogbound Turtle, I've read some very interesting papers from very smart people, engineers, scientists, and so on, saying that autonomous flying that is accepted by people as being completely safe, that is going to take a lot of processing power, and we're not there yet. So I'm not saying it won't come, but I just personally have my doubts we'll see that in the next 25 years. But nevertheless, there will be changes, and changes that may not be, you know, to everyone's liking. And I have one issue personally, especially now that I fly long range. If I have to sit here in the flight deck, which is fairly, you know, dark at night time, and you're flying over the Atlantic, you're logged onto SEPA DLC, you don't talk to anyone for hours on end, and there's no one there in the flight deck with you to talk to, you're going to have a really hard time staying alert and staying awake. And that's something that should not be underestimated. So, is that dangerous per se, with all the automation going on and the automation coming to the aircraft? No, not per se. But if you fall asleep as the only pilot remaining, and then something happens and you kind of get, you know, woken up of deep sleep with bells and whistles going on, I don't know how quickly and well you would be able to react to that. So if you go on that path with fully or let's say single pilot concept flying, and you have 2 accidents that are clearly related to the fact that only one pilot was on the flight deck, you're going to have an issue. You're going to have big issues. You know, trying to convince people flying is still safe, even with one pilot, after you've had a couple of accidents, well, you know, good luck with that. But be clear about something. If you start as a very young person, let's say you're 22, you finished college and so on, and you go now into training, you're looking towards 35 to 40 years of career in the airline sector. That's a long time. And like Fogbound Turtle is writing, there is a certain unknown factor, and that is AI and processing power going forward. So it's very difficult to predict how software developments, how artificial intelligence, robots and so on, how that will develop in the future. And I think nobody, not even the best experts around these days, are able to make a very sound prediction, you know, in that area. Yeah, Brenold, I would be on the same page with you, Brenold. I personally would, at the current state of things, I would not go onto an aircraft either. Not even single pilot concept, I wouldn't do it. However, going forward 25 years and going and having a look at the younger generation, so the people being, or the, you know, yeah, people being born now, reaching the age of 25 in 25 years time, they are growing up with different technological advances. So for them, it may be completely normal to be in transportation, so buses, trains, cars, maybe even helicopters that fly completely autonomous, that have no one there sitting driving it. So maybe they have a different attitude towards that topic, you know, as they grow up. So they will be willing to accept autonomous flying, you know, more likely than we are. Yeah, Aeromaze, I mean, well, that's, oh, just overtook someone. Regarding, so the Germanwings suicide crash still gives me absolute chills. That to me is something I will never be able to fully comprehend. And just thinking about that, just, you know, just I don't know, it gets me into a very sad mood. So many people have lost their lives in that. The problem is, however, that 2 people on the flight deck does not stop that from happening. You need to have a different approach to that topic. You need to have a system available for people. Well, first of all, you need to have a system available to make sure that anyone being an airline pilot, being in that sector, has the health and the mental health to do that job. That's the first thing. So we need a system in place that makes sure people with certain medical conditions that could be potentially dangerous, they are then filtered out prior, even getting a pilot license. That's one thing. The other thing is, though, it's a proven fact that literally 50% of all people at some point in their life go through a depressive phase. That is something these days which is something not getting better either, is it? I mean, I think these numbers will probably go even higher as life is, becoming more and more difficult with all the, the outside conditions that everyone has to deal with. And so it's more a matter of looking after people, not just pilots. I mean, we have to have a system available where people can get professional help quickly. Hey, Melvin. So right now, and Mentor Pilot, if you're interested in that topic, I strongly suggest a video from Mentor Pilot a couple of weeks ago, where he addressed that topic in a very, very good manner. And he also criticized partially the thing that we have right now, where pilots are still afraid to go and talk to or get professional help from a doctor, because they're afraid of losing their medical license and then losing their job. So that's an area that has to be addressed in order to avoid something like that Germanwings crash from happening again, right? So that's my view on that topic. So single pilot concept per se, in my opinion, doesn't make it more dangerous in that regard. I see the dangers in other areas. Yeah, Arthur, that's the thing, right? And it makes it so difficult to predict the technological advances that we have, going forward. Yeah, Brenold, and here's the thing, though, Brenold. Put yourself in the position of an engineer or an airline manager. At some point, you will have an aircraft that has a certain level of reliability that has proven to be safe up to a certain statistical level. And if that level is at the level that we have right now, and at the moment, Brenold, we still have fatal crashes. We still have people dying in aviation accidents. But those that are developing these systems, they will argue at some point going, in the future, we're talking about 25, 30 years from now, they're going to say, hey, our systems have proven to be so reliable that the fatality rate is no higher than when you have pilots on board.
Yeah, Christian London, that's a good point as well. So guys, remember that, you know, we had a pilot, a captain, we had a co-pilot, we had a flight engineer, and we had a navigator. And at some point there was a fifth person on board doing the ATC communications. And I remember, because it didn't affect me, but I kind of was at the stage where when I joined the aviation, we still had 727s flying around at our company. We had 747-200 flying around. And the flight engineers then being forced out of the flight deck by new technologies. And I remember these discussions regarding the warnings regarding how there will be a lot more accidents happening because the flight engineer is taken out of the flight deck. There was a huge uproar back then, but as you know, the system proved to be reliable and the accident rates didn't increase drastically or didn't increase at all. Yeah, the point was proven that it's still safe. Hey Winky, Mendelssohn, the big problem with the self-driving car thing, modifying signs. Yeah, I think here's one thing. So the article I was talking about, so that study paper I read about, there was one section that talked about giving control to someone on the ground. So you would have one person on the flight deck that is not really a pilot per se. He's only there to throw certain switches in case there is a problem with the communication to a ground server, where the ground server can't really do all the switchings necessary to continue with the flight. But the problem is, security-wise, right now, since these communications have to go through, you know, satellites, whatever means, they can be hacked. And sure, in the future, at some time, we'll have a system where, you know, you can't hack it anymore. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not an expert on that regard, but then who knows? If it's safe, then yeah. But until that point is there, you will never ever be able to give control to someone on the ground to you know, manipulate the flight. Viper's Racing, hello. UT said Stressmaster after leave at plane got left when I use it. It's okay, but I leave the plane left. Oh yeah, that's normal. Viper's Racing here in Microsoft Flight Sim. Yeah, it's normal because you only have two options. So either you go outside view and you can manipulate the viewpoint like this, or if you press, for me it's the C key on the keyboard, or you can hand over control again in the outside view to your peripherals and move the aircraft. But I have the same problem. If I go in the outside view in the drone mode, then I can't steer the aircraft. That's normal. That's Microsoft. Flying Teenager, it's like the internet at the beginning. For some people were... Yeah, so good point as well. So right now, this is the thing. I've been looking into Bitcoin for some time now, and I've always been completely against it. Why? Because I looked at it from a ecological standpoint, and I talked about this some time ago here on stream, where the energy draw with Bitcoin mining is so big, it doesn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me to pursue that kind of currency that that actually causes maybe global warming, or you know, or at least a lot more CO2 being discharged into the atmosphere. However, it's a fascinating topic, and I'm not an expert on Bitcoin, and I don't want to go pursue it too much further. But regarding, because of the discussion we're having,
there's been such a long time where people have said, even like, George Soros has said, Bitcoin will disappear again. It's not going to end well. But it has come back and it's still here. And I'm hearing things now regarding tokenization of currencies and assets. And there's even talk about a crypto euro officially coming here in Europe. And that's the same thing, right? Currency that's only going to be virtual, if you like. It's going to be a electronic currency. So it's a mind-boggling thing that you have to get your head around, and then at some point, it's all about acceptance by the masses. Yeah, so exactly. So Kurt, like I said, I don't want to go too deep into discussion here regarding Bitcoin. It's not aviation. So I'm just saying that there's always people arguing for it and arguing against it. However, it's difficult to predict who is correct in the end. It's difficult to predict the exact outcome. And that's the thing. Nobody could have seen internet developing into what's come out. Nobody knows, with emails and so on and whatever. So again, it's difficult to predict certain things. Hey Sergey, yeah. So yeah, Brennelt, I fully understand your viewpoint on that. I have the same viewpoint. I right now I would never ever get on an aircraft that only has one pilot, so an airliner. I know the private sector is a different thing, but yeah, so Christian, that's one of the things that I would definitely argue right now is going to be one of the biggest challenges for AI to cope with, and that is pilots have an enormous experience level. So if I look at my experience level regarding weather situations, be it thunderstorms, be it storm fronts, be it wind conditions at all kinds of airports, my experience is something that an AI doesn't have. And with my experience and with my knowledge, I can make very good decisions regarding what is safe and what is becoming unsafe. There are certain situations right now, I'm 100% sure, an AI may just not understand and may not be able to do that kind of gut feeling decision, and then go into a situation that would jeopardize the aircraft. However, and again we're turning in circles, but going forward, 25 years from now, who knows where we stand with that intelligence. Thank you much, Jack Hitman. Yeah, Captain Chaos. There's many areas where things have progressed, even in our lifetime. So if I look back on my own lifetime, when I was 16, we didn't really have computers. Well, we had computers, but not in the home sector, so not in the private sector. So PC sectors, there were no PCs. There were no computers. It's hard to believe that, right? So if I even talk to my daughters about this topic, they're like, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine a life without smartphones, or maybe a little bit without smartphones. So you have a telephone that is wired to the wall, and you could talk to someone via a telephone line, but not to have a computer in everyday life, that is something young people have definitely some issues with to imagine. But for me, that's been like, you know, only 40 years ago, that's what it was like. And so if you look back now, 40 years, the 40 years of where we've come to now, that is quite fascinating. Yeah, Gilend, yeah, imagine that, yeah. Yeah, Stoffer, again, I'm not an expert regarding, you know, computer stuff and, you know, cyber cyber laws and so on. I just find it fascinating. I just find it interesting listening to the discussions on these topics, because it does pop up more and more often now. Let's say the topic of Bitcoin, it just pops up more and more often. And I'm starting to listen to see, is there anything on the horizon where I may need to adapt in order to save my savings, or, you know, inflation protect the savings, if you like. Yeah, so yeah, that's why I listen. And again, I always listen to both sides. I listen to the critics, and I listen to the, you know, the pros and cons and so on. But yeah, definitely very interesting stuff. Quit. Yeah, Quert. The thing is this, so I can tell you from my airline experience, there's been a number of cases where my gut feeling caused me to check something again. And the gut feeling was correct. The same with situations where I pulled up and I did a go around and I did not land, and the aircraft behind me almost crashed. All right, so there's been situations where I would definitely say AI at the current stage would not have caught that. So, you know, I'm talking about current time. I'm not talking about 25 years down the lane, because that is difficult to predict. Obi-Wan. Yeah, like I said, you know, it's a very interesting time. Now for me, if I look at the current problems we have in the world, now, again, I don't want to go too far outside of the aviation sector, but I strongly hope, I really, really hope that AI will be used also to a very, very big extent in order to find solutions for the problems that we have, right? Global warming, pollution, energy, clean water, etc., etc. So I hope that AI will go first of all in that direction, helping out you know, human beings, and not going into the realms of how can we maximize profits even further. But we'll leave that topic as it is now. Oh, good point, Winky. Yeah, GPS jamming. That's a very good point. Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of a little bit of a you know, race, right? Race between, you know, good and bad, right? Well, hopefully not. Hopefully AI will not say that at some point. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Christian. Again, it's one of those things. It's an ongoing battle between you know, good and evil in many areas. I think that's still Kitman there, right? To the right of me. Kitman, is that you? Cool. We've got about half an hour. Yeah, 40 minutes. Let's go and prepare stuff, shall we? Hey, forward. Good of you. let's go and prepare some stuff here. So let's first of all check the arrival ATIS. Freezing rain now. Oh my god. No, it's actually offline. Winky, yeah, me too. I do enjoy these discussions. Again, I am in no way an expert in these areas, and I really appreciate when people here who are much more knowledgeable than I am in that regard, you know, to post their views, because yeah, I can learn something from that as well. Kitman, oh, that's really kind. You are just too kind, Kitman. The flying teenager, I think that the best thing is really to stay positive and to not be too afraid. Right. So if it's your absolute dream to become an airline pilot, go after that dream. And if it's possible, ahead of that, have a good plan B in case aviation goes in a direction that you're not happy with. But I'm definitely not saying you should not become an airline pilot right now. That's what I'm not saying. I'm just saying that you have to be ready for changes, and you're going to have to be able to adapt to these changes. I'm just waiting for the jingle, Kitman, to come up. There it is. Kitman, once again, you've been such a huge supporter for my streams and my channel. Kitman, thank you very much for that. Very generous, 10 euros again. Thank you for flying along. Lovely to see you here. And I think that's him right there, isn't it? I think so, 380. So Kitman, once again, thank you so much. Vielen Dank. Brent says, how do you know of the icing at the destination? Maybe it could be strong for your plane or the others. Yeah, no, so the Airbus is definitely able to handle, handle severe icing as well. There are some limitations. For example, you're not supposed to fly along with flaps extended for too long in icing conditions. So there's certain threats in that regard that you can mitigate. Now, icing per se, so if, icing, you're very relying on pilot reports. So in ATIS, for example, you very often have a pilot report regarding, moderate icing between level 130 and 80 at this and this position. And I remember one instant, Brennelt, where there were pilots reporting actually with pans because they had so severe icing that the engine vibrations went up during the holding patterns they were flying. So that is something, of course, if I hear something like that, then I mitigate that immediately. Right? I will look for different areas, different flight levels, etc., etc. But apart from that, there aren't many things that that would would cause an aircraft not to be able to land. With freezing rain as an example now, airports usually are able to counteract freezing rain on the taxiways, on the runway, unless it's like really heavy freezing rain for longer periods of time. But usually in these conditions, at around about freezing point, you can spray chemicals onto the runway. These are biologically safe, so they can be sprayed on without any environmental impact. Usually, I think it's from ant acid, so Ameisensäure. So they're based on that because that doesn't damage the engines and the aircraft structure. While if you would put on salt definitely is problematic for engine parts and other parts of the aircraft. Where are we? We are currently about half an hour. We're almost coming up to the top of descent, so that's why I'm trying to prepare for the approach. So we're going to take this as runway wet. Currently weighing 62. I don't know why my aircraft is always so heavy. And the wind 310 is a bit headwind. That's good. And we're going to do 62.5 tons landing weight. Flaps full, auto brake medium for sure. We'll have max reverse, auto thrust off, manual landing, runway wet. And so we'll require about 1,700 meters. And we said we have about 1,800. So we have about 300 meters. Oh, well, actually, no, we don't. So we have about 100 meters buffer. 100 meters to flare, if you like. So not too much time, 2 or 3 seconds to flare before I have to go around. Conditions, broken 2,800, 1011, so that's not too bad. So we can do the approach. So let's just dial up the sound a bit.
Wind 310 degrees, water enough, visibility 10 kilometers or more, high freezing rain, broken 2,800 feet, temperature 0, dew point -3, units.
So we have tower. So the wonderful person that comes online to give us tower at Vagar, here's a big round of applause. And I'm not saying it's because of me, I'm just saying that whoever's coming online right now at this very time to give us control at Vagar, thank you very much. Let me do one quick check here with the Tala. So that was 1 hour 5. So I just guessed if we take 20 past as takeoff time, because we were standing a long time at the runway there. So that should have been like 1625, which would add up. And 6 tons, we're supposed to have 5.1 plus 1.2, so 6.3. So we burned about 300 kilograms on the ground waiting for takeoff. So definitely we don't have that much fuel remaining anymore. Min diversion is 3.4. Yeah, 3.4 tons is what we're supposed to have. Here we've got 3.9 arrival fuel, so 500 kilograms. Whew, it would have to be a quick pattern. Yeah, I should have done single engine taxi out. Yeah, I should have. Hey, Stephen. Yeah. Right. Oh, Brennell, you didn't see the pictures, did you? Oh, no, actually I sent you them, didn't I? But I did show some of the pictures here for Vagar, right? So there's the airport. It's the Faroe Islands. And then, yeah, that's the airport. So we're going to approach, offset to that runway. Oh, sorry. Oh, God. Sorry. There you go. There, that's Vagar Airport. Apologies. Right. It's again. It's so seldom that you see these beautiful conditions there, and actually you have a routing that goes right over the Faroe Islands. We actually went by the what's it called, Summerberg, the Shetland Islands, right? Shetland Islands. So we went past them as well. So that was really cool. Good, let's do the descent preparations. So we're going to have the charts open. Approach. That was the ILS Victor 30. And the minimums. Now this is the thing. So climb gradients. We should be able to do 4%. So we'll do 490 as the straight in ILS minimum. 490. So 490 there, config full. QNH is, what was QNH again? Actually, I can do... So that again. So that's 1011. And we have temperature 0. And the wind was 310 at 13. Cool. Minimums RATNAV. So RATNAV, there is a localizer. With DME, so it's ILS DME. And we used to have one NDB, didn't we? Or did they switch that off? No, here, Mike Yankee and Victor Golf. Mike Yankee, Victor Golf. So we're going to go Mike Yankee and then Victor Golf. So I'm going to take that there. Cool. Oh, wow, we got an aircraft. Kidman, I'm just still trying to locate you, Kidman. I guess that's him there. So there's some aircraft right next to me. No, so right now, so we don't have charts backups, papered backups. So we actually have, well, all in all, we have 4 EFBs if we're 2 pilots. If we have 3 pilots, we've got 5 EFBs. So there's 2 which are fixed to the aircraft, and we have... Is that you? Okay, Kidman. Okay, Kidman, if you like, you could go first. I'll slow down. Okay, coming in very quiet. So, so it's you just ahead of me at 360, confirm?
At 2 o'clock.
Yeah, 2 o'clock roundabout. Yeah, correct. Gilend, what's your position then?
Obviously, that's my departure.
The Dune expansion,
No, 380.
Ah, okay, so that's not you then. Okay, 380. Copy it, thank you. When are you starting your descent?
In less than a minute.
That is copied, thank you. Okay, so Gilend, that's you then. Level 360. So I think Kidman is further ahead of me. More than 40 miles. And that's you then, Gilend. Yeah, so the Dune expansion, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, it's not my kind of cup of tea. That's all I'm saying. You know, so don't get me wrong. I'm going to take 8,000 as transition level. The minimum is, what did I say? 490, didn't I? 490. 490. And so that's about, how many off the ground? Okay, so maybe, I don't know, maybe I am on live weather, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, live weather. I don't know if there's another issue with the altitude readout. Yeah, so you're definitely higher than me. And it's showing same level, which is kind of weird. So I don't know if there seems to be some bug right now. So that's 250 off the ground. So 250. Airport altitude is 235. Cool. You have control.
I have control.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Go ahead.
Good. So we are going to start descend towards waypoint Zudur. From there, we're going to fly the standard ILS Victor 30, which will go on off to our final descent point, Victor Golf 904. And let me just check those points. So 918. 914, 908, 907, 904. Yeah, and then 904, we start the final ascent out of 4,000 feet. Profile a bit steeper than normal, 3.5 degrees, to the minimums of 490 feet bar row. In case of missed approach, straight out via 901, 903, 190 knots until there. 905, Magni, 230 maximum Magni, 4,000 feet. And instead of going to holding, though, we're going to join the arc again and try another approach. V-pilot course. Okay, is that a new thing, Loic? Because I've not noticed that lately with V-pilot. So that must be a new bug then. Peter, I have a mute. So a switch where I can hard mute FS2 crew. Yeah, so without boring you too much, the flying teenagers, so climb gradients is something that we have to be able to maintain in order to stay clear of obstacles. So if it says here the missed approach climb gradient has as a minimum of 4%, you would normally go into your, I mean, I'm talking about real world now. So if I go into my real world EFB performance calculator for landing, it will give me a single engine go around climb gradient. So normally it should be 2.6%, correct me if I'm wrong, with 2 engines minimum. But depending on procedures, it can be higher. Oh, actually, it says 2.5 here. So let's say my calculator says you can only maintain 2.5% single engine missed approach path climb gradient, then I would have to take a higher decision height or a higher min descent altitude so that I can still go around and clear the obstacles. So if I go around at higher altitude at 2.5%, I will be able to clear all the obstacles in the missed approach path. If I am lower down, so let's say we're going down to this minimum, and I'm supposed to have 4% climb gradient to clear the obstacles, and I can only manage 2.5%, then I'm going to crash into obstacles. So that's why we would calculate that in real life. Here in the flight sim, we don't really have that kind of fidelity and that kind of accuracy. So I will talk about this, knowing though that yeah, for the casual flight simmers, it doesn't really affect them, and yeah, it's just. But I get asked these questions: why don't you take, you know, that minimum, etc. So I'm going to go with descent alt blue, level 100. Welsh Pilot Pete, thanks for the kind words. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. I hope to make more videos in the near future. But yeah, I think. Well, I know that a lot of people.
Good evening, windmill 6 Alpha Echo. Well, I know that.
It's me in the background there.
Hello, Vagar information. I have a met report for you. Record at that time 1950. Advise it copy.
Ready to copy, windmill 6 Alpha Echo.
Windmill 6 Alpha Echo. Met report from Vagar. Record at time 1950 Zulu. Wind 310 degrees, 13 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Light freezing rain. Broken clouds 2,800 feet. Temperature 0, dew point -3. PNH 1011. Premac. Broken clouds 2,300 feet. Wind scale 310 degrees, 13 knots. Transition level 80. Report requested approach type and estimated time for Sudur.
Weather information received, QNH 1011, approaching runway 30, ILS Victor, and estimated time 2030, windmill 6 Alpha Echo.
Windmill 6 Alpha Echo, thank you for ILS Victor for 30 and no reported traffic in the area.
Cockpit, thank you, windmill 6 Alpha Echo.
So that's 11 minutes from now. at 20. So I'm estimated 2024, let's say. Vagar information. Good evening to you. This is Faroe 52 Foxtrot, currently at 65 miles south of Sudur, just passing level 340, and we're estimating Sudur at 2024, and we did copy the information. Thank you.
Faroe 52 Foxtrot, thank you. Runway 30 and use and report your requested approach.
We are a A320. And runway 30 is in use. Copied. Faroe 52 Foxtrot.
Faroe 52 Foxtrot, thank you. And just to confirm, you requested approach type ILS Victor, uniform or airline?
We would appreciate the ILS Victor out of Sudur, or Faroe 52 Foxtrot.
Faroe 52 Foxtrot, thank you. Copy.
So I'm already slowing down because I know there's an aircraft ahead of me. That's Shilend, I think. So he's ahead of me there. Did you deactivate channel points? No. They should be running. Hang on. Yeah, try that. They should be running in the background.
Faroe 52 Foxtrot, traffic information from Reykjavik Control. Airfront 1, Airbus 320 on your aircraft type, approximately 7 miles, flight level 290, descending towards Sudur.
Yeah, Faroe 52 Foxtrot, we have him inside, and we are currently indicating speed 230 knots to give way.
Faroe 52 Foxtrot.
How descent profile optimization works. So, the main thing is, so if we talk about airliners, pilots would normally enter all the necessary data into the FMS, right? So for me today, that cost index was 15. So with that cost index, the aircraft will calculate an optimum flight level to fly. It will calculate optimum speed to fly, and then for descent, with that optimum speed, it will give you a optimum top descent. So that is already optimized for everything. Twitch channel points. Oh, that's an interesting one.
Another traffic is on your 12 o'clock. It's a windmill Airbus 320D.
That's an interesting one. I will need to check that.
60 miles ahead towards Sudur.
Okay. No, not so. So only on very short flights, the optimal flight level would be influenced by the range or the routing distance. So normally you would expect a certain cruise portion. And that means, obviously, the optimum cruising level is dependent on many different factors like temperature, wind, tropopause layers. Well, tropopause influences the temperature, the aircraft weight, the cost index. So many different influences go into, or calculation goes into that. But the FMS has all the data, so the FMS will give you then the optimum speed. If you don't have that, if you have an aircraft, oh, beautiful. Look at that. If you have an aircraft that has no proper calculation method here for the FMS, you would have to look up your documents and look at the charts. Oh, there it is, 10 miles ahead, so that should be okay.
4106, flight level 290.
Now, here's the thing. So now that I have selected 230 knots, the aircraft has to recalculate this optimum descent. So if I give the aircraft information regarding 230 knots in the descent here, right?
All stations to arriving Sudur, you can discuss about the separation and sequencing on the frequency, and for information I cannot give any radar service.
Okay, Fairline 5 to Fox, that's copy. Did I hear correctly? You cannot provide radar service?
FM, I don't have any radar contact for you. I just have information what you have given tells me.
Okay, that's fine. So currently the Fairline 5 to Foxtrot is estimating Zudur at in 7 minutes from now, so at 2024, and we have the aircraft ahead of us 10 miles in sight. I'll space myself behind the aircraft in front. So now you can see, now that I have told the FMS we're descending with 230 knots managed, so I can go manage now. The aircraft has recalculated the optimum path, and now we're actually high in the profile. So if I go to progress page, it tells me that we're a bit high and the aircraft needs drag. So we're going to use a bit of speed brakes to help the aircraft descend.
I checked it on SMS 2027, waiting in the...
Any questions?
No questions.
I have control.
You have control.
Only joke, hey, Reva just had interesting failure, simulator single engine failure, Sec 1, Sec 2 off, and in the Phoenix he had no elevator control anymore, landing only with trim. Should there be elevator left to fly with those failures? I honestly would have to look into my books. That's a very, very kind of specific question. If the, I mean, normally, so here's the first shot in the dark, right? I would say there should be elevator control because hydraulic wise you have still hydraulic power, and you have the ELAC as well. The ELACs, so the elevator aileron controls, they should still have control over the elevator electronically. It could be a bug, yeah. Yeah, that could be a bug.
Cross Victor Golf 904 at time 2033.
Fairline 5 to Foxtrot will adjust and then cross Sudur at 2033 or after. Thank you. Okay, so what we'll do, we're going to have a look at the holding pattern there. So the holding is left turn 340 inbound. So we're supposed to delay our approach. So it's left turn and 340 inbound. Insert. And so if I
report Victor Golf 904, Kenneth 1011.
I will report on Victor Golf 904 1011.
So I'm going to go now manual speed again. Go to optimum green dot speed. That will give me the most efficient airspeed, so the speed with the least fuel burn. So there's no snow here right now. So it's a bit different to what we had in real life. Interesting. Seatbelts on. Good. We're going to send down to 4,000 feet here. Oh, actually, no. We don't have to go 4,000. That's another 20. Let's go... Yeah, let's go 90 initially. So 20... yeah, so 33 is when we're allowed to leave.
the hold. So beacon is indicating, that's fine. And accuracy currently is good, 0.03. Oh, Stephen, I guess you didn't see the pictures I showed earlier from a real world flight not too long ago, a couple of days ago. Beautiful view. A bit of snow on the mountaintops there. I can imagine, yeah, hiking there would be very nice. Yeah, I can imagine that. You can see the elevation of the airport. Yeah, quite impressive. Reynolds, do you know how long the flight is for the Colombian tour? Is it 1 hour? 1 hour 10 or something? Just make sure it's not getting too late today. And I promise to hurry up for the next flight. I already run the numbers on the flight plan.
Quebec Charlie Romeo 186 request taxi.
Quebec Charlie Romeo 186 taxi.
1 hour 10, okay, cool.
On discretion.
Yeah, that's fine.
Information.
Ah, okay, so Shilend is also doing a quick holding pattern.
30 in 4 minutes.
Taxiing on my discretion to holding point runway 30 Quebec Charlie Romeo 186.
Arzt ohne Grenzen, servus, how are you?
Defense 1 Shutdown and Faroe line 5 Vagar traffic information reporting traffic A320 from Vagar in next 5 minutes. Copy, Air France 1 for takeoff.
And 5 to Foxtrot, copy, thank you. Yep, so flight plan is calculated, that's fine. Shilend is well below me there. There he is. And I'm going to level off around about 80 initially. So 8 minutes, so I think, yeah, I think one holding pattern. It's probably going to be one holding pattern and then one 360 till 33. So we got 33 at our time to leave the holding. I'm pretty sure that Shilend will leave pretty soon already. It's 2 hours, 2 hours 10. It's not too bad. Oh, that's beautiful.
Entering runway 30 and will be ready for takeoff after running back the runway.
Alt star. That's interesting. Did it have a restriction here? That shouldn't really be the case. Okay, let me go vertical speed. So alt blue, vertical speed 90. Right, fuel-wise though, so we would have to make a decision now, because we're now burning the fuel that we had originally thought for doing a second approach. We've got 4.2 and 3.6 as our min diversion fuel to Bergen, so we would have to do a decision already, really, regarding commitment. And I guess in the real world, with these conditions today, you'd be...
Wind 6 Alpha Echo on Victor, over Victor Golf 904, speed 160.
Okay, so he's here.
6 Alpha Echo, thank you. Wind 310 degrees.
So,
runway 30 is occupied.
yeah. Non-standard, we'll commit ourselves here to Vagar.
Romeo 186, wind 310 degrees, 11 knots. Traffic information, windmill Airbus 320 on 10 miles final, runway 30.
Yeah, hurry up. You gotta hurry up. Yeah, can't see him. Where is he? Oh, he's already behind me. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, there he is. So he should be starting the approach now, because I'm supposed to start my approach in 5 minutes from now. Yeah, Flying Teenager, it has a logic. It has a self-test logic. So when you power up the systems of the electronic control unit of the APU, it takes 2 or 3 seconds to power up. Until it has powered up, this button is inoperative. So you can press it.
Stations, all stations, new QNH 1012.
Copy.
Copy it, 5 to Foxtrot. So well, I think 10 miles is enough. We're going to start the approach. I'm going to slow down a bit sooner, but we have 10 miles to land, and yeah, we should be right.
Charlie Romeo 1X6 airborne.
Oh, good lord, thank you.
Windmill 6 Alpha Echo, runway 30, now reported traffic.
Traffic
Alt
inside
star.
6 Alpha Echo.
And Windmill 6 Alpha Echo, for information, visibility has dropped to 4,300 meters. It's still freezing, raining. Now it's normal, not even light. It's gate 330 degrees 16. Runway condition code 555. All parts wet. Runway 12 chemically treated.
Right, okay, so braking action is good, meaning wet, so we calculate with that. However, obviously, if we don't see the runway at minimums, if the conditions are such that we can't land there, well, we would have to divert to Bergen. But there we go. So medium is set, and now I'm going to go down to 7,000 feet, so that I can start reading the.
Air France 1 for Tango, report Victor Golf 904.
Report Victor Golf 904. It will be in about 6 minutes. Air France 1 for Tango.
Vagar.
Windmill 6 Alpha Echo for final.
Windmill 6 Alpha Echo, wind 310 degrees, 11 knots, now reported traffic.
Mark would be happy, yeah, for sure. Right, I'm just going to do 1360.
Golf Charlie Romeo, Reykjavik control is offline, frequency change approved.
1012 set, passing 8,200. Now.
Checked. Approach checklist. Descent checklist.
Landing is your own discretion. I can't give you landing clearance.
Thank you.
Approach checklist.
Faroe ref.
1012 set.
1012 set. Seatbelts.
On.
Minimum.
490 feet set.
Auto brake.
Medium armed.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist completed.
So one quick 360. And then we'll go direct to Sudur again. Hang on, return. And then we'll start the approach. 3-3. Looks good.
Windmill 6 Alpha Echo runway 20 again.
Windmill 6 Alpha Echo on ground part time 32. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night. Windmill 6 Alpha Echo.
I don't know why it doesn't take direct Sudur. That's really weird. It's arming the nav, but it's not activating nav mode. That's really strange. Right, let's try direct Victor Golf 918 in this case. Yeah, that did take nav. Cool. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to dial in the final ascent altitude, which is 4,000 feet. And we're going to fly this in managed mode. That's 2 point. So when you do a direct 2, that's the point where you activated the direct 2. So 2 point. Descent alt blue 4,000. So Mike Foxtrot identified. The ILS is set. So let's have a look. So Gilend, don't see him anymore on TCAS.
Vagar Tower, Air France 1 for Tango passing Victor Golf 904.
Oh, okay, so he's on the final approach.
Full Tango, wind 310 degrees 1 knots, runway 30 is no reported traffic.
Cool.
Sorry, say again for 1 for Tango?
Air France 1 full Tango, no reported traffic, runway 30.
So the speciality is that you will not get...
Fairline 5 to Foxtrot, I have another match report for you.
Fairline 5 to Foxtrot is ready to copy.
Fairline 5 to Foxtrot, match report from the Vagar record at time 2020 Zulu. Wind 310 degrees, 11 knots. Visibility 4,300 meters. Light snow, cloud layer broken 1,200 feet. Cloud layer broken 3,000 feet. Temperature -1, dew point -3. Altimeter set, pressure 1012. Recent freezing rain. Remarks overcast 1,800 feet. Wind direction and speed 330 degrees, 16 knots.
Fairland 5 to Foxtrot, thank you much. Kinich 1012, rest copied. Thanks for the info. Very good. So, yeah, regarding the minimums, we should be able to see the runway there. The wind has...
Recent traffic information, Air France 1 for Tango over position Victor Golf 904.
That is copied. We just passed Victor Golf 914. Speed is 210. Fairland 5 to Foxtrot. Hey, Nanook. How you doing? Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
That's going to be an absolutely beautiful approach.
I think flight level 230 and request its climb flight level 380.
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Yeah, no, thank you much. Very well.
Quebec Charlie Romeo 186. Reykjavik control is offline. Further climb at your own discretion. Frequency change approved. Good day.
Thank you for your control. Changing your frequency. A good day. Quebec Charlie Romeo 186.
Woodman Phoenix Alpha Echo on Fox. Thank you for the ATC. Have a nice week.
Thanks for flying. You too.
Yeah, MSA is 4,000. Haven't mentioned that before. Good. Fuel. 4,000 kilograms. So that's fine to reach Bergen if needed. So if we go around and we want to do a second approach, we commit ourselves to Vagar. Right now, the way the weather looks, if there's no other traffic around, yeah, we can risk it. In real life, I wouldn't, obviously, but here in the sim. Yeah, now look, it is. And I know people are going to go, oh, not again. But yeah, just I'm flying here because we flew over the airport a couple of days ago in real life. And we had such beautiful weather and beautiful view of that. I thought, hey, you know what? I've not been to Vagar in the sim for ages. Let's fly there. Yeah, look, beautiful sunset in the background there. Beautiful. I think we're 360 at that time. Yeah, look at the terrain there. Amazing. Love it. So we'll maintain 4,000 feet until the final approach point. Yeah, one speciality is the offset. So inbound is 305 on the localizer, and the runway has 30. Actually, hang on, it's not offset. I thought it was offset actually. Lol, it looked offset. I'll disregard that then. So it's not offset. Gender's short final, about 14 miles ahead of me. So that should be not a... Yeah, Yonex, I felt really lucky because, like I said, you rarely see the Faroe Islands this clearly. So I'm going to arm the localizer. Lock armed. We don't have a glide slope yet, but we're still far out, so 16 miles. So hopefully we'll get a glide slope once we get closer. But I have full faith that will be the case. Well, visibility is dropping for sure. Well, I mean, it's Danish, isn't it? So it belongs to Denmark, but we're flying Atlantic Airways. That's the national airline there. Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
Glide slope blue, lock blue, cat 3 single.
Report 10 mile final.
Fairland 5 to Foxtrot, welcome. We've got cat 3 dual now, autopilot 1+2. Localizer should be coming in any moment now. There it is, localizer's alive. Wow, that looks spectacular. I love the atmosphere, the mood right now. It's getting hazy. You can see there's the rain near the airport. Lock Star. That is very cool. So 3.5 degree profile. I'm going to start slowing down here. Slatibart, hey, nice to see you. Yeah, Ruhe vom Sturm, exactly. So the missed approach will take us as well up to 4,000 feet.
Air France ground flight line, welcome to Faroe Islands on ground time 40. Good night. Say again for 1 for Tango. Air France 1 flight line, welcome to Faroe Islands on ground time 42. Good night.
Yeah, what we normally do is on the RATNAV page here, we'll enter manual values regarding VOR stations or NDP stations. And then after 10,000 feet in the climb, you clear those out if they're no longer needed for navigational purposes. And then automatically the most suitable stations are being tuned. But quite often, if a departure procedure requires a certain navigation aid, we're 10 miles, Faroe Line 5 to Foxtrot. Flat substar.
Faroe Line 5 to Foxtrot, wind 310 degrees, 11 knots, no reported traffic.
That is copied, Faroe Line 5 to Foxtrot. Wozu ist das? Ist unter Cockpit Door Switch. This thing here, Brennelt, that's for the data recorder. So there's, whenever you have to enter some data into the, I would assume the MCDUs and so on, there's a cartridge you can enter there. I take, Jesus Christ, that scared the hell out of me. Okay, that's the realtor. The realtor. That is a bit loud, isn't it? Good luck, thank you. We'll try our best. Right, let's get established. Gear down.
Gear down.
Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Flaps full.
Speed checked. Flaps full. Radar altimeter alive.
Checked.
Checked.
Faroe 5 to Foxtrot, wind check 330 degrees, 16 knots.
Faroe 5 to Foxtrot, thank you. So just waiting for the landing checklist. Oh, that's horrible. Just having a look if switching off the landing lights helps a bit. Not really. Landing checklist.
ECAM memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist completed.
Okay, so we have visual contact, manual thrust. Why don't my buttons work anymore here? Manual flight. Runway is inside. So we have a bit...
1,000.
Checked. So we have a bit of crosswind. In this kind of setup, so when I know it's a bit windy or, you know, I know that it's going to require some firm inputs into the flight controls, I am more aggressive regarding these inputs. So I mentally prepare myself already.
Sync rate.
Checked. Correcting. Regarding the inputs, because normally when it's not so bumpy or the winds aren't shifting so much, for passenger comfort, you can just adjust everything and make some really smooth inputs. But here in these conditions, like now, got a bit of downdraft here. Trying to be a lot more aggressive and a lot quicker to correct these.
So 100 above.
Inside. So it's going to be a little bit harder
So we're not going to try to slam it, but
Minimums.
continue. We are going to try to...
300.
Especially there's a little bump there in the runway as well.
200.
Flight slow.
Disregard.
40, 30, 20, retard.
Oh, that was... We got spoilers. Oh,
no
the reverse of...
Engine 1 and engine 2. Desal.
Oh, we slammed it. Oh, no. I misjudged the...
70 knots.
Checked and the brakes.
Now that's how pros do it.
Oh. I just did not want to go around, that's all. So now would make the announcement a hard but hearty welcome.
5 Iceland and ground time 48. Good night.
Thank you so much. Or text to the apron. Thanks for controlling. Much appreciated. Fairland 5 to Foxtrot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, hang on. Let's have a look here. Look, this is the correct landing rate here, guys. Not 515. We know that I pulled really hard to break that descent rate. And the problem is... Let's do that again with landing gear. The problem is that it takes a while until the vertical speed indicator here in the sim adjusts to that. This is the G load. That's a much more accurate indicator. So this, it's still a hard landing. It was still quite a thump. But that is more accurate. I mean, it's still a very firm landing. Firm landing, yeah, there we go. All right. So, number 5, is it? Yeah, looks like it. Let's just check. Parking 5. Taxi light off. Turn the flights off. After landing checklist.
Radar and predictive wind shear system.
Off.
After landing checklist completed.
APU started. Wonderful. Isn't that position 5? I thought it was position 5 here. Oh.
All stations, Vagar information is now closed. Monitoring in camp 122, right.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you much. Good night. Yeah, Christian, exactly. So, shutdown. Cabin crew disarm slides and cross-check. Parking checklist.
Parking brake or chocks.
Set.
Engines.
Off.
Wing lights.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Off. Parking
checklist completed.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so we're going to hurry up. We're going to go straight into the next flight. So first of all, thanks so much for watching. Hope you find that interesting. Sorry for the hard landing. But conditions were challenging, definitely. And I hope that this will be interesting to see with version 2 if the aircraft behaves a bit differently in the flight controls. I mean, you probably saw it on the video feed with the flight stick. I really pulled back hard to break that that descent rate. And excuse me. And so yeah. Kidman, once again, Kidman, thank you so much for flying along. Same to Shilen, thank you for flying along, and thanks for the support. I try my best. I did try my best. but very eerie kind of conditions. I love the atmosphere, love the mood. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, with these beautiful views, I will leave you for this flight. Stay tuned if you want to have a look at the next flight. We'll do the 1 engine out Colombian tour, leg number 9. And we'll fly the PNG 737. See you soon.